Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Give a roll tide inside the comment box. I hope that you are off to an amazing Friday. Thank you very much for being here today on the program. It is September 5th. Tomorrow we got Alabama versus Louisiana Monroe. Excited to take your calls later on in the program to get your score predictions. I already put mine out there. I have it 45-0. So got to stand on that, right? Got to stay there. Today we're going to talk about the latest news, right, going into the game. And then at the back end, I'll take your call. So let me get through this morning. Let me give some shout outs to everybody that is checked in early in the program. I know a lot of people calling for Kyle Cortez. I appreciate the support. Yeah, that was funny yesterday. All right, Alyssa, what's up? I appreciate you being here. You be calling in today from the 478. All right, love the call last time. You tell us for sure. Tonette, turn up. I just say something about Tonette, all right? She's been in the comment box. Look, I see everyone inside the comment box, all right? And she is fighting for the Alabama Crimson Tide, 100%, all right? So true ride or die, all right? Miss Kimberly, what's up? I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. No filters, what's up? I appreciate you being here. Twan, what's up? Prayers up for Twan as Twan continues to go through it. You know what? Sometimes, you talk about like the type of adversity you face and all this sort of stuff. Yo, Twan is like literally going through it. So I got respect for Twan. Always checking in. Our thoughts and prayers for you, Twan. 100%. Alex Wilder, what's up, dog? I know you need some prayers. You know what? I'm going to stop the music real quick. Yo, true life, honestly. Look, there's people inside the comment box. I get it. Like, people are going through different things. Look, Twan, like, if you're comfortable, you can go ahead and share what you're going through. Alex, I know you're going through something as well. Dude, seriously, like, our thoughts and prayers are with you. And it's called adversity, which kind of is perfect going into this weekend because, no, you're going to get punched in the mouth in this life. That is just how life operates. Now, you could have some amazing stretch of years, right? And then it kind of could get bumpy. Maybe your whole life is bumpy. That's just how life is. You're going to face adversity. But I feel that this football program, they haven't faced a lot of adversity over the last since you've been rolling on everybody. And I think now is a perfect time to accept that adversity and take steps forward. So I know we're all pulling for the team this coming Saturday. And, I actually, later on in the show, I asked ChatGPT, I was like, what do you think about Alabama's the rest of the season? I know that's kind of like a thing out there, right? And ChatGPT still has Alabama rolling with the 10-2 record, so I'll dive more into that. But if you're out there and you're going through it, thoughts and prayers are with you, all right? So the Undefeated family is here for you. Dano, what's up? I appreciate you. We spin up the music again. And North Alabama Storm Chase, what's up, man? Good to see you. We got Max Tooney checking in. We got Mindy Miss Careless. We got Anna checking in. We got, Crimson Dreams? What's up, Crimson? I've never seen Crimson Dreams on here. Let's see what Crimson Dreams has to say real quick. I'd rather have Lane Kiffin or Schumann. Anyways, over D'Amico. Not that I don't like him, but Kiffin and Schumann would be able to turn the program around fastest, understand how to run the program. All right, you're talking about another coach. Crimson Dreams, what's up? Welcome on in. Andy, what's up? He's like calling for Kyle Cortez. I just like the way that sounds, right? And look, don't get me twisted. I love my last name, but Kyle Cortez is hot. Patriot Life in with the super chat. What's up, Patriot Life? Have a good show, Kyle. Hopefully, we will rebound Saturday. Thank you, Patriot Life. Patriot Life's out in Chattanooga. Can you imagine living in Tennessee? What he has to go through? You know what I'm saying? All right, Kyle, I respect your opinion. This is from Dirty South 334. Dirty South's been here a long, long time. Kyle, I respect your opinion a lot. Do fans have the right to criticize players? Ryan Williams, Teddy Bear ordeal, for example, or are they not performing on the field? 100%. Yeah, I think, and everybody has to accept it. Everybody has to accept this type of criticism because this isn't like high school football. These kids these are grown men with grown men paychecks, right? So they're going to have to accept the reality is that the university, is paying them. You are probably paying them with whatever you're contributing to, the NIL, and that's it. And they're going to have to get used to it. Just wait till you get to the NFL, right? And you got to block out the noise, and you just got to work on your craft all the time. Coach Saban talked about that all the time. Coach DeBoer just recently talked about that, blocking out the noise. People are going to absolutely come at you, right? We're going to come at you on the show, probably more in a way to, inspire you. But I encourage like people like don't go into these players' DMs and like or anybody's DMs in life and like tell them like ridiculous stuff. You know what I'm saying? You have the right to criticize them, say what you want, but like, yo, if you're like giving these dudes threats and stuff, you don't do that. Don't stoop to that level. Seriously, don't do that. But you can criticize them. You can be like, you're not playing good. I don't think you're playing well. You can turn it up, right? But like if you're like doing other things, don't do that. That's weak. From, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. From has been here for a long time too. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Soli 462. Good morning, Joe Crooms. See, this avatar is from a raffle that he won. All right, so he had me customize it with 18, and then he put Crooms on it. Yeah, love it. Debbie, what's up? Good morning. Robbie, good to see you, man. Hey, I'm a grown man, but my paychecks. No, I get you, dog. Yeah, that's a celebrity type paycheck for real, right? I hear you, dog. Facts, but people want to say we can't say. No, you say whatever you want, dog, for sure. You can criticize them, dude. 100%. All right, so good morning to everybody up in the undefeated. This graphic is courtesy of our good friend from North Alabama, Storm Chase. He's inside the comment box. Looks like the tailgate. Are you kidding me? 50% rain? I'm going to say it doesn't rain. Game time. No, I'm tired of this rain. And it really, honestly, I live in Tuscaloosa, as you know. It really hasn't been, the weather's been great. It really has. We've hit this stretch for like, I don't know, the last 2 weeks, and it really hasn't been, it's been really nice. Looks like kickoff 40%, maybe thunderstorms in the fourth quarter. Looks like could be a little foggy. Okay. 73% or 73 temperature. Love it. Games at night are so amazing. All right. Who watched the game last night? We had some NFL football on. I watched it. I went to sleep when it hit the weather delay. I mean, the game was like the thunderstorms came in and I went to bed. I was like, all right, I got my taste. And you had the Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys. All right. Yo, Jalen Hurts is just, man, he's just him. All right. I love Jalen Hurts. I've always respected him. When he introduced himself last night, he said roll Sooners. Do you like that? Right. I like the way that he's always handled himself. He's always handled himself like a grown man. Even he went through adversity. Yo, this dude got benched. This dude got benched in the Natty. All right. And guess what? Let me stop the music real quick. Jalen Hurts went through some adversity here. All right. This dude got benched in the Natty. Okay. What did he do the next year? What did he do? Did he go, and I know the transfer portal wasn't as prevalent and all this stuff, and there was different rules and things like that. Did he go to social media and start crying? Did he stop being a teammate? Did he criticize Tua? Did he criticize Coach Saban? Was he maybe upset internally? Yeah, probably. But guess what happened? He stayed on as a teammate, kept working on his craft, and then later that next season, he came in when Tua went out and helped the team win the SEC title. It was like watching a movie. People were crying. Remember this? That was crazy. That was one of the best things I've ever seen covering all sports. I've covered football for like 20 years of my life. That's when he became a legend. You know what I'm saying? This was not legendary. All right. Did you see this? The game hadn't even started last night. It was literally, we had the kickoff. By the way, the NFL kickoff is terrible. I don't even like to look at it visually. It just makes me mad. I really hope that never happens to college. Why? It's terrible, right? Who else doesn't like how they kick off in the NFL? What the hell is this? Might as well just start the teams like on the 20-yard line or something like that. Anyways, Jalen Carter plays for the Georgia Bulldogs, or he did, right? He spit on Dak Prescott. No, and I get he transferred, but he transferred after he graduated, right? He did it right. He finished out, and then when he graduated and he knew that he was not going to be the quarterback over here, then he transferred. He didn't like transfer out because he was like a baby cry. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's saying Dak spit at him first. I did not see that. Is that out there that Dak spit on him first? Oh, that's crazy. I didn't see that. Is that what's out there? Oh my goodness. I did not see it, but you know what happens? It's always the second person, right, that gets charged. I did not see that. Thanks for telling me, fam. I did not see that Dak spit first. That's crazy. That's disgusting. I hope they review it, and I hope they're able to see that Dak spit, and I hope he gets suspended. I really do. Man, that's crazy. I did not see that he spit first. That is disgusting. All right. Jalen Hurts, all right, first game in the NFL for the season opener, 19-23, passing 152 yards, coming off a Super Bowl. Smitty had a couple receptions in there. Jahad Campbell, I thought, looked good. Landon Dickerson, man, that guy's been battling. He's coming along, but man, he's just battling a lot of injuries, right? And then he had 2 rushing touchdowns. So that's your NFL recap. I love NFL because I play fantasy, all right? And, if you want to play fantasy football, if you want some sleeper in your life, then you got to check out Sleeper. And if you can get in, download the app, get a $100 deposit when you match up to $100. You can make picks more or less. These are my picks for this coming weekend. You got Oklahoma taking on Michigan. Let me run through a sleeper commercial real quick, and I'll be back like in 30 seconds. This is how to do it, by the way. Family, what's up? Kyle Anderson, Bama Football on YouTube. As you know, I partnered up with Sleeper this year. One of the great things that you can do is you can make picks in terms of more or less, right? And you can get a 100% match up to $100. Use the promo code, which is RTR. Terms and conditions apply. I'm going to take John Mateer right here over 2 touchdowns against Michigan. Do you guys agree? Let me know inside the comment box. You also got Justice Haynes. I think he'll have another strong performance. Give him over 65 yards against Oklahoma. I had to pick one more. I'm going to go with Arch Manning. I know he had a tough day at the ballpark, but give me over for Arch Manning, 278. They probably let him throw for like 300 or something like that. After you've done that, make sure that you have, you can choose how much you want to put in, $1, $5, $10. It shows you the winning amount right there. But it's just more or less. It's fun to play. This is something that I do along with fantasy football on Sleeper. Really easy to do. Super fun interface. And I'm sure if you play fantasy football, you already know about Sleeper. So remember, get a 100% match up to $100. Use the promo code RTR, and let me know inside the comment box what you think about my picks this weekend going into week 2 of the college football season. All right, we're back. Appreciate you guys. I was asking you about Oklahoma inside the comment box. Oklahoma, Michigan. Be sure and make your pick inside the comment box. Remember, get a $100 deposit when you match up to $100. Use the promo code RTR. And terms and conditions apply. Currently operational in all 25 states. Check out Sleeper, download it. I use it every single day. I appreciate you guys supporting them. Look, I took a crack at the SEC rankings. I'd like some feedback here. I'll probably get some feedback inside the comment box, but here we go. All right, this is how I have it. This is fresh out the kitchen this morning. All right. I still have Texas as the number 1 team in the SEC going into the week 2. I just think that Ohio State was that good. I think that Ohio State would beat any of the teams that I have listed right here. I think there's a big gap between Ohio State and the next team that is ranked. I think it's Penn State in the AP top 25. Do you agree? Who's your number 1 right now in the SEC? Right? I think it's still Texas. And look, I know Arch didn't have his best showing. You play Ohio State's defense. You play them. You play Matt Patricia. And I get it. Look, I think LSU, I'm going to credit them for going on the road to beat Clemson. That was a tough game. I think Clemson, is going to be, top of the ACC or wherever, but I don't think that LSU beats Texas. I still think that Texas, LSU, that's how I have it. I got Georgia at number 3. I moved Oklahoma. I know they didn't really play anybody. But I got Oklahoma at 4. I think they probably, in my opinion, they look better than South Carolina. Ole Miss, I think this is a team that people continue to sleep on. It's just nobody's talking about these guys, which is dangerous. It's probably Lane Kiffin's probably loving it. Florida, all right, let's put them there. Texas A&M, I don't know about these last three teams. I probably have Alabama at like 11 or 10, right? I put Alabama out of the picture kind of just to maybe, get some reverse rat poison in their locker room. Who knows? People screenshot stuff, So I have them out of my top 10 following their play. Tennessee, I probably put them over Alabama. I don't know about Vanderbilt or Texas A&M. I guess we'll figure out as we go forward. But here's a look at my SEC rankings right now. So, and you look at the teams that Alabama plays. I mean, shoot, they still play LSU. That game will be at Bryant-Denny Stadium. They play Georgia here in a couple weeks on the road. They play Oklahoma. They play South Carolina, right? They play Tennessee. They play Vanderbilt. Dano has us at 14, right? I love Andy. Andy's like, yo, he's like, Bama's number one, full gump, locked up. Twan has LSU as number one, and Max Tooney has Texas number 3. Anyways, all right, so those are my rankings. Remember, to get into today's raffle, $5 to get in for this Alabama block hat right here. To get into the raffle, a $5 super chat will get you in. Up to 3 opportunities. You could also Venmo Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. It's at the top of the screen. Dan Caraway won this hat about a week ago. No, like about a month ago. I like this hat. I think this is a strong hat. I love the blocks. You can see, and a lot of people are asking me like where I get my gear from. Well, I live in Tuscaloosa, so it's pretty easy to get gear. So you can get it. People always ask me, you can get gear at Walmart. You can get gear at the pants store. They have a lot of different hats. I don't necessarily like the way that their hats fit. I like the hats, the ones that say Tide. I get those from Chris Mobley, the Kalen DeBoer and Grub hat, which I haven't worn in a little bit. That's from Down South Headwear. And then this is from, I think this might be, I've had this for a year and a half, 2 years now. This is from Mobley, I think. So a lot of places if you get into town, if you're coming in, but if you literally, or Dick's Sporting Goods, but honestly, Walmart has like a ton of stuff as well. So definitely get in. All right. AJ McCarron versus Hollywood. All right. Look, I want to talk about this because this is a hot topic. I already had a video that went out kind of discussing this. I personally don't think that AJ McCarron has beef with Hollywood. And I don't, Hollywood probably saw that and he needs to respond on the field. For what it's worth, Ryan Williams did post on Instagram, stayed there, and then it was a Instagram post that was deleted. But let me kind of set the stage if you're like, what the hell happened? So AJ McCarron, right, a beloved legend here at the University of Alabama, has played the game, he's done things, and he has his own platform. So when he says things, it has more meat on the bone, right? Because he's a Saban guy. He's won natties, right? Like, this is a quarterback. This is a leader. And I can only imagine how he must have felt watching Alabama with the lackluster performance in week 1. Okay, so he's been speaking his mind, and he said recently this about Ryan Williams, right? He runs way too high as a slot receiver. He was getting gloved. That means defended. I was standing on the sideline watching it with my own 2 eyes right there on the sideline. He had a perfect view, and this kid was getting gloved. He needs to step up. All this hype and everything, guess what? You're not going to get drafted off 1 year. You're not Jeremiah Smith, brother. All right? So I think this is more like a Saban type thing. Like, get on him. Get him inspired, right? Do you agree with me? I don't think like, look, does he literally have beef with? No, I don't think he has beef with him. He has beef with how he was playing. And if you've played competitive sports, like, somebody's got to be saying it, right? Somebody like is telling you the truth. They really love you. I said that, okay? Exactly, Paul. Thank you. Paul, you're absolutely right. He's challenging him. 100%. That's it. He's challenging him. All right? But I also agree with Michael, too. NIL has created a soft prima donnas. All right? So, AJ, look, and a lot of people inside the comment box in the video that I put yesterday agree with AJ. They're like, yes, speak it, man. Talk, because who else is going to inspire or get to Ryan Williams? Clearly, Ryan Williams saw what he had to say, right? Exactly, Andy. Andy's 100%. He's like, it's not beef at all. It's just alumni wanting to preserve the dynasty and to push these kids to be the best they could be. 100%. Really great post, Andy. 100%. And look, this is like, is this a Daniel Moore right here? Money McGee, what's up, dog? Thanks for the super. I don't know if Daniel Moore already painted this. He probably did. But this is when Alabama, listen to this. At this point in time, Alabama was beating the you-know-what out of Notre Dame. It was 42-13. And these guys, AJ was still on him, right? He was still fired up right here. That's what it takes. It takes what it takes. 100%. So Ryan said stay there. By the way, I asked a lot of people what stay there means. And from my findings, it means that you pick the lane, you stay in that lane when he starts balling out. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's talking about. So Ryan is like, look, when things turn up, you stay in that lane. He probably shouldn't have said that. He deleted it. But, I mean, everyone's going to see everything on social media. So, look, I don't think there's, like, beef between these dudes. I think it's more of, like, pick up your, you know what, play to the level that you're capable of. We know that, you're going to go through ups and downs, but, I'm the quarterback or was the quarterback. I'm an alumni. I care about the program. I'm invested in the program. Turn it up, Hollywood, and turn it up everybody else. All right? So I think everything will be fine. I got Ryan Williams for 2 tutties if he does play this weekend. I don't know. We'll probably figure out. He's going through concussion protocols. Has anybody seen anything out there to say that he's not playing? I think he'll be playing. And look, the whole slot position thing, did he look like he had dinosaur hands across the middle of the field? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he dropped passes across the middle. He dropped passes last year. I know he hasn't had like a mind-bending game since the Georgia last year, but come on. The playmaking ability, like, don't jump off the Ryan Williams bandwagon, okay? Like, you can criticize his play. I'm criticizing his play, but don't jump off the bandwagon because this dude is one catch away from going 80 yards to the house. He's one play away from blowing your mind, all right? So I agree, Ron. Maybe take him out of the slot. I wanted him in the slot. Maybe take him out of the slot, right? But don't give up on this dude, all right? He did look soft in the slot. Fine. Put him back on the outside. Put Rico Scott in the slot. Put Isaiah Horton in the slot. I don't know. Figure things out. There's other players that you can put there. But don't jump off Ryan Williams, all right? Because once this dude starts the support doll. This is a good question. I saw this. Let me see if I can find the doll. I thought it was hilarious. All right, so this little doll, I've named him Trazzy. I have no idea what this thing is, okay? But I thought, and I promise you, there's probably someone. This is the crazy world that we're in. Did you see the spat on here? So spat is when you tape the ankles, all right? There's probably someone at Alabama making over $100,000 that is like taping the players and stuff like this. This is not an amateur spat, okay? Somebody that is getting paid good, like 6-figure salary, did this. You think Ryan Williams spatted this little Trazzy up? No. This was a professionally done spat. So will Trazzy make it to the next game? I have no idea. But we'll have to see. I don't know. So stay there. That's what we found out what that meant. Yeah, it looks like a dinosaur, right? I don't know. We got a super chat in here from David. What's up, David? You got the beard, bro. Beard life is real life, right? If you're getting your millions, why would you want to push yourself to do better to get to the NFL? In some cases, you're already getting paid like the NFL. There's no more want, 100%. Look, David, and this goes for every single person that is month to month, okay? When you're already like fed, if you're like already a millionaire, most of the time, okay, you lose that hunger. You lose that fight because you're already been paid, okay? But when you're scratching and clawing, right, and having to go punch the time card all the time, and you can still climb up on the chart, yo, you are hungry, right? Don't they say hungry dogs run faster, right? That's why, like, I operate way better month to month than I do salary. I do. Right? That's the type of person I am. Right? But, once you're already fed, period. Good point out, David. And I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much, bro. All right, look. Who uses ChatGPT? Everybody does, right? So this is going around. This is like a popular culture thing. People are asking ChatGPT about Alabama's football season still, right? Like they're like, hey, people are asking everybody, hey, this and that, what's going to happen? So this was punched in. How do you predict the rest of Alabama's football season? And to my surprise, right, it's pretty optimistic still for Alabama football. It has Alabama football finishing 10-2. Yeah, ChatGPT has sped things up for a lot of different people, right? So this is the confidence level. I'll go full screen. Let me read this out again. All right. So ChatGPT recently predicted Alabama's the remainder of the season. Okay. And this is what it looks like. I'll go full screen. And it has Alabama finishing 10-2. It has more confidence than most of the fans, right? Has a 98% confidence rating against Louisiana Monroe. Then against Wisconsin, 85%. As it continues, it says that Alabama loses to Georgia. Okay. But after that, it has really high marks for Vanderbilt, Missouri, Tennessee. I guess it gets a little dicey against South Carolina and LSU, but still pretty confident, right? Against Oklahoma, 55% chance, and then Eastern Illinois, that's pretty much a lock. And then Auburn there at the Haunted Barn, 65%. So I don't know. ChatGPT has 10-2. Could you imagine if this happens? Right? And we come back to these time capsule videos and all these comments we made, right? Don points out a really good point. And he says inside the comment box, ChatGPT didn't see the first game of the season. And Nicole says she loves ChatGPT. Look, I don't know. Does ChatGPT know that the defensive coordinator will still be the defensive coordinator through all these games? I don't know. And then ChatGPT continues and says this. Because I asked it, I was like, okay, this is what I said as a prompt. I said, why are you so confident following, I asked this, why are you so confident following the play against Florida State? It said it was a sharp question, by the way. This is what it said. It said, effort-focused team, tackling mindset and hustle can be restored quickly. Okay. It said coaching resiliency. DeBoer has shown ability to turn things around in past roles. Okay. Leadership depth. I kind of like this right here. It said experienced starters can reignite culture and discipline. And it pointed to guys who have been here for some time, like a Ty Simpson, Tim Keenan, a Deontay Lawson, right? Like that those guys, Parker Brailsford, Jeremy Bernard, that those guys can kind of reignite things. And then it said analyst perspective, and it said week one stumbles don't define, and then it cut off. That was all it said. So I don't know what it said. Week one stumbles don't define, I guess, a team's performance throughout the year. I guess if we have to finish out for the computer. So who knows? What's your take on this? 10-2? Are you buying this? Does this make you feel a little bit better? I mean, if you use ChatGPT, how does it make you feel? I don't know. The game we got to worry about is this first game up here. Did you know that the line is kind of sliding down to Louisiana Monroe? They don't expect it to be, I think it started out 38.5, and now it's like at 34 or something like that. I don't know. So anyways, that's what ChatGPT has to say. All right. Now let's take some calls. All right. You guys want to call in to the show? I'll put the call-in line number on the screen. Remember, when you do call in to the show, keep in mind that there's somebody behind you that also wants to call and, sound off. All right. So the call-in line number is 205-850-1994. And the direction that will go with the call-in line, pretty much, you can give your score prediction, a bowl prediction, anything that, might be out there. But let's keep in mind that there's other people behind you. We want to get more calls in. And I'd appreciate, the point, and then dip out, all right? It's Me Marvin says DeBoer should use ChatGPT to help him. That's funny. All right, let's go to the phone lines this morning. We got 813. It looks like Marcus in St. Pete's is up first. Marcus, what's up, man?
Close, not Marcus, Case.
Oh man, dang! I saw the man. I already threw it incompletion. All right, so Case from Tampa up first. I appreciate it, Case. I'm sorry, dog. Man, I hate striking out on the area codes.
We're right across the pond from St. Pete, so it's close. It's close.
All right, so what's on your mind, man? Welcome in the show, and thanks always for the support, Case. Good to talk to you, man. Come with it.
Hey, no worries, man. I'm gonna try to hit these quick so other people can get on the line, but I'm just gonna hit with my score prediction. I'm staying positive even after the loss. I'm gonna say the score prediction is 42-7.
42-7, okay.
And I really think this is gonna be a true test of poise for this team. And the reason why everyone knows at this point that our weakness is stopping the run. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what did UL Monroe do? On their first game of the season, they rushed for 311 yards. That's what they did. So I think everyone knows they're going to run the ball. That's what every team is going to want to do on us all year, especially after what happened to FSU. Everyone's going to want to run the ball against us. That's just the fact. And I think Womack is on the hot seat. He knows that. And I think the players are pissed off, and I think they want to play better. So I really think they're going to step up in a big way. Hopefully it's a complete shutout. Hopefully it's 63-0, but we'll see. I think my player of the game is going to be Ty Simpson, and I think he'll share that with either Jeremy Bernard or Isaiah Horton. I still don't know if Ryan Williams is going to be in the game or not, so we'll see. But I think Jeremy Bernard is a standard right now when it comes to wide receivers and just discipline all around. And as far as running the ball, I really hope Kevin Riley gets most of the carries. And that's nothing against the other running backs, but he's just got so much – he's got so much explosiveness to him. I really think as far as Jam Miller being out until he comes back, I think Kevin Riley should tote the rock the most out of any running back, just because of the amount of effort that Kevin Riley gives. I think he's got the highest upside. Other than that, I'm still got my head up high. You talked about the games upcoming. I'll touch on these and then I'll get off the line. You talked about the Georgia game, and I wanted to say this. Kalen DeBoer has a 100% win rate when he has a bye week before. We had a bye week against Georgia last year and a bye week against LSU, and we took care of both of those teams handedly. Georgia, they started to come back, but in the first half, I mean, we were tearing Georgia out of the water in the first half. So same thing, bye week against Georgia and a bye week against LSU this year. So I'm excited. I don't know. I still think I have high expectations for this team. Whether that be we run the table and beat everybody, or we go 10-2 and we lose to Georgia or something like that. I don't really want to predict losses. But I'm still very excited for the rest of the season, Kyle. But that's it. That's where I'll leave it and let somebody else get on the line.
All right, appreciate your case. Thanks for calling in from Tampa, buddy. Appreciate the support. Take it easy. All right.
You too.
I think we have we got a 417. I think it is Q. We'll take it. Let's see if I can go 1 for 2. I already threw it incompletion. My goodness. All right, Q, is that you?
It's Timmy.
Man, I'm 0 for 2, guys. 0 for 2. Timmy, what's up, dog? I appreciate you, man. 0 for 2, man. I'm going to get benched for Kyle Cortez, man. All right, Timmy, where are you calling in from? Shoot, man. Where are you calling in from today?
I'm calling in from Illinois.
All right, you on the road coming from Illinois. All right, Timmy from Illinois. Come with it, dog.
Yes, sir. Okay, so against UL Monroe, since that defense got torched, I have a hot take. I don't think they're going to see the end zone. I think it's going to be like 50-12. They're just going to kick field goals. I think a lot of people I'm not upset about the loss anymore. But I feel like that was the best thing for this team because going into that Florida State game, they're like, oh, yeah, like everybody's so scared of us, yada, yada, yada. They got their ass blown out of the water. I feel like this loss to Florida State was the best thing that happened. Get them refocused, get them committed, get them pissed off. And then their first true test is kind of going to be going up against Wisconsin. But I feel like we're going to beat Georgia. It's just Oklahoma and South Carolina I'm worried about. I don't really care about Gunnar Stockton. I'll watch some of his highlights. He's kind of slow as a runner, so if we can limit him, I think we'll be fine. But I feel like Alabama is the rabbit against the tortoise right now. We were winning so much, and we're sprinting across the finish line, or about to sprint across the finish line for all these years, and then we fall asleep, and we got all these teams catching up to us. I feel like that's how we are right now. But my MVP will be Kevin Riley. I hope that he start. Well, I know he's not going to start, but I hope that he has the most yardage in this game. And my defensive MVP, I'm going to say Dijon Lee. I feel like he's going to have a bounce-back game after getting torched on that 3rd and 11 that everybody's going to be talking about. I'm really optimistic about this team still. And if you lose your first game, you should be pissed off for the rest of the year because you know one more loss could be detrimental, or one more loss could, depending on how you lose, it could definitely affect your run for the CFP. So hopefully they tighten up, they get everything fixed against Georgia and just sprint to the finish line, because if not, it's going to be chaos in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, no, it's already hot over here. I can, with the message to the boosters was the biggest thing. I haven't heard anybody ever have to send a message to the boosters since I've been here. I mean, I know there was some rough times during those like Shula eras, but I was surprised that was kind of like already out there. But I appreciate the call, Timmy. Be safe, man, and thanks for calling in from Illinois.
I appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Take it easy. That's Timmy. He's on the road. That's why I always ask him where he's from. And I've been 0 for 2 on the car, so I'm not even going to ask this next one. I'll just go to the old school. Hey, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. It's Alyssa Mitchell from Macon, Georgia.
Hey, Alyssa, I appreciate you even told me at the beginning it would be a 478 that you'd be calling from. So I put that as 0 for 3 to start out. But Alyssa with the, inside the chat, appreciate you calling in again. I know you called last week. Welcome into the program. Hope you're off to a good Friday. Alyssa, come with it.
Okay. So first off, I just want to say, you all know I am a Bama fan for life. We could go 0-12, and I'm still roll tide. But with that being said, I'm also a realist, and I feel like I need to give them a little tough love. So as far as my score prediction goes, I'm not going to predict on this team anymore until they give me a reason to predict on them. I've got zero confidence right now. So that's my prediction, unfortunately. And then my bold statement is to the coaches and the players. If you want to be paid like big dogs, we need to see some big dogs on the sidelines and on the field. I need to see some headsets being thrown. I need to see some guys being buried in the dirt. And if you don't want to play to the Bama standard, y'all, take your check, sit on the sideline, and hop your butt in the transfer portal in December, because the fans, we don't deserve that performance from this past Saturday.
Let me ask you a question, Alyssa. Last weekend you called in, and you said that particular game against Florida State was such a marquee game for Alabama in terms of the branding, right, and kind of setting the tone for where Alabama's at. I mean, talk about that with coming out the loss and how you think that might impact that. Does it impact the brand? Does it impact the way that people view Alabama? Because I certainly do. Now you're going to hear, you thought Tommy Castellanos was going to talk. Now everybody, he even has merchandise. So more people are going to continue to talk about Alabama and pump their chest when they play the Crimson Tide.
Right, exactly. And that's why that was my bold statement last weekend. The brand is being questioned. I've had to hide at work. That's why I'm saying this weekend, we got to show people something. They need to show us something. It's like you do such a great job. The Undefeated does such a great job. The fans do such a great job. We study these guys in the off season. We watch film. We gas these guys up. And then Saturday, come on, it hurt. It hurt. So, like I said, if you don't want to be here, take your check and sit on the sideline. But we deserve better. So, I believe in this team. I believe, one game at a time, we could come out and look completely different this weekend. That's what I'm hoping. And, roll Tide.
All right. I appreciate the call. Thanks for calling in, Alyssa. I'll catch you in the comment box. All right. That was Alyssa with the good call from Georgia. We got an 865 coming up next. Hey, Angel from Pigeon Forge, right?
Yes, this is right. That's correct.
All right, damn, finally, man. What's up, Angel? I appreciate you calling in, man. Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, first and foremost, this team's got to play better this weekend because I'll be at the game, obviously, because I did tell you that. I'll be at this game this weekend. Sorry for that. But honestly, the coaches need to be held accountable for what's been transpired the last couple games, whatever. And look, this team cannot play like being unprepared because we've seen it already a couple times. There's got to be some emotion and accountability. Like, I know DeBoer was saying that they were pissed or whatever, but he ain't pissed. He don't look like he's pissed off. Like, he needs to show more emotion, and because this job is a real job. It ain't Washington. It ain't the Pac-12. And it's a very serious job. And in Alabama, I know it's all they got is football. Let's be honest. They run the state. The football runs the state, and they're playing like garbage. And now you got Auburn clowning Alabama because, they beat Baylor and they're on this momentum because, they think they're, Bama's dead now. But I don't believe that. I believe this team can still make a run, but it's up to them to decide if they want to, win games or lose games or play hard or don't play hard and play soft. But it starts at the top with the coach because I don't believe in this guy, really, honestly. I know he's new, like Nick Saban was, but I don't trust his style of coaching anymore because it's too soft. It's too Pac-12. It's not gonna work. Like, I get it. The Washington team he had, they played really hard because they were like three stars and all that, and Michael Penix was what kept them really good and all that, and Ryan Grubb. I'm just being real with y'all. Like, this ain't Washington because it's the SEC. Like, this league will eat you alive if you don't be prepared or be prepared to coach with emotion. Because if you don't, you're either going to get fired, players are going to leave, and then the brand's going to tank because it's Alabama football. But I'm trying to stay positive this weekend. And look, it's up to them to decide if they want to win this game or not. Because we gotta have dogs on defense. I bet the backups right now want to play right now. Because right now, especially defense, like, man, they want to play. The backups do, but the first team, they gotta play smarter too as well. Because I'm sick and tired of these players making dumb penalties and not getting held accountable for it. Like, especially with Damani Jackson's last week, yeah, that's unacceptable. But I can't wait to see the game this weekend. But also, one more thing, Kyle, before I get off the phone line here. What is the best place for me to go, hang out and eat and all that with the fans from your perspective?
When are you getting in?
I'm actually getting Friday night, actually. So I'll be there Saturday.
So are you going to be here?
In town.
Are you going to be here tonight, or are you getting in tomorrow?
I'm going to get actually tomorrow morning, even though I'm leaving my house tonight.
Got you. Look, I would say, if you're gonna come over here, the city will be packed. It's already full. I would say, grab breakfast wherever you can, wherever you're staying at, and then make your way to the tailgate because the tailgate at Alabama, they'll have a ton of opportunities for you to get some food from food trucks and just kind of walk around. So I would hit the tailgate, but you do have a lot of time if you could sneak in somewhere. Like, if you could really sneak in somewhere, try to go to Waysider. There's also people
Yeah.
like Big Bad Breakfast. I wasn't a fan of Big Bad Breakfast. Maybe I'll have to go there again. But if you can, I would say Waysider is like a old iconic spot. But I'll add some more during the show. Good question, man. I appreciate the call in.
All right. Thank you, man.
Yeah, take it easy.
Thank you, man. Roll Tide.
Yeah, roll Tide too.
Can't wait to be this weekend.
Yeah, no doubt,
too,
man. Be safe on the road. All right, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of, another place that you could find me at here in Tuscaloosa as of late. I've been going, they opened up this new place. It's called the Sanctuary. So it's kind of, it's past downtown, so it's not really the downtown scene. And their food is amazing. And they got a huge TV, and then they have live music very often. So like Tuesday night, they have jazz night. And then, they have different artists that come in. It's a really nice spot to check out. So check out the Sanctuary. Someone's pointing out City Cafe. Yeah, City Cafe is still around. City Cafe opens up at like 4 a.m., 100%. Archibald's is a really good spot for barbecue. Dreamland, you can go to Dreamland. You can do Full Moon for barbecue. Nick and Jim's. There's if you have questions about, anything Tuscaloosa, let me know. I mean, it's crazy. I've lived here for 10 years now, which is wild. 917. Hey, thanks for calling in. Where are you calling? Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
It's Connor from Muscle Shoals.
Connor, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in from Muscle Shoals, man. Come with it. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, man, I gotta apologize just because it's been a hard week. I'm still processing, and anyway, so for my score for next week, my prediction, I don't have a prediction. All I want to see is a shutout from the defense after last week, especially. And what's weird for me is I felt like last year with Kane and the D, like it was, and this is the offense too, was like Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. Like one week it seemed like great, and there was the game where they held them up at the goal line and everyone celebrated, and I was like, oh, maybe we're, it's going to be fine, and then you're seeing what happened on this week, and I'm like, we can't stop the run. I remember when it was Leonard Fournette going for the Heisman, and we held him to damn near negative yards until like some BS play at the end of the game when it's already over. He had like a 30-yard run or something. And it's like the extreme, I don't know. I'm just like so confused as what's going on. And so moving from that point is going to be kind of like, I feel like it's a big picture we're talking about more than like X's and O's at this point and what we saw on Saturday. And I think everyone's like going towards DeBoer with this. And then that's where I bring up, well, what about Bernard? He came with DeBoer from Washington and he seemed to be our dog, So like, I just can't, I'm just so confused, man. But I do think there is maybe a bigger topic at hand. It might be NIL, it might be this or that. And I think the fans, at least for me, it's not only the loss, it's the way we lost. And then you start adding on, I hate to do it because I like the guy and I don't mean to hate on anyone for what they do and it's all great, but you got to perform. And that's Ryan Williams with the stuffed animal,
Yeah.
the nails thing. I get it, he's doing this for his sister, but then it's like when you top that on with these other things and the TikToks, and I just saw one, I don't know if it's from after the game or not, when they went to the lake, but it's like, I was so depressed. I'm not going to, and I'm just a fan watching the game. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on, but it might be a bigger thing. And I've looked at the roster and I know we got a lot of guys. That's why it's surprising that are from Alabama, but I think we need to like maybe take an extreme stance as Alabama with this Saban dynasty being over and the NIL and all these changes, and just stick with in-state guys that are here to play for Alabama and stop going, unless it's like a Bryce Young or a Tua or a Derrick Henry or a Mark Ingram, stay in state, you know what I mean? And let's just like, I don't know, go that. I just don't know. I'm so confused and lost. I don't know what's going to happen. And I just got to sit back and watch, I don't.
I got you, man. Yeah, thanks for calling in, Connor. I had to tell you, man, I like the area. Muscle Shoals, Florence. I went up there, and I had a really good time in downtown Florence, and I thought Muscle Shoals was cool. So, yeah, you could find me sometime out there. I like the spot, man. But I appreciate you calling in for the show, man. Hopefully, I'm with you. I hope they get a shutout too, man. But thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thanks, man. A great show, and roll tide.
Yeah,
man.
roll tide, team, man. Take it easy. All right. Connor calling out to from Muscle Shoals. 317, you're up next. Hey, what's up? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Come on, Kyle. Don't lose your confidence now, man.
Dude,
you know this is your boy, Mark.
I know. It's crazy, man. I went 0 for 2, and then I checked out, man. I need to get back in. So,
Yeah, man, lock back in, brother. I wasn't even gonna call in until you said something, and I was like, damn, now I gotta call. I can't let him have the incompletion and not back him up, man. So that's why I called in today, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you,
Lock
dog.
back in, bro. I know you got this, bro. Lock back in, man. Don't let that throw you off. It's still just Friday, brotber. Don't let that throw you off.
That's right, man. Yeah, don't want to get fired on my day off, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. Mark is calling to us from St. Pete's, man. What's up, man? Come with it. I appreciate you.
Hey, okay, so all jokes aside, everybody, man, take a breath. Take a breath, bro. Everybody, calm down. Just take a breath. I know you're not supposed to tell people to calm down, but so let me rephrase it. Everybody just take a breath and relax for a moment. Just stop. Let me say this. Okay? Yes, we were spoiled because we had a coach that was able to do something that most coaches was not able to do, and that's stay in a place long term and actually retire from there. The only other coach I think that's going to actually happen with is Kyle Whittingham at Utah. He's been there since dinosaurs walked. But just take a breath, man. This is the reality that other programs had to deal with, and now we aren't accustomed to that. We need to adjust. We need to adjust our expectations. I want Alabama to win a national championship as well. I want Bama to win the SEC as well. But let's look at this realistically, man. Let's just take a breath and take a step back from the situation. We're zoomed out 30,000 feet. We're talking about Ryan Williams' fingernails and him carrying stuffed animals. I don't care about any of that as long as you perform on the field. And now we're trying to create correlation does not always equals causation, right? We're trying to tie these two things together and think it's because this kid's walking around with a stuffed T-Rex and that means he can't play. That's not true. That's not affecting him. Let's all just take a breath. Bama's going to be okay, even if that means that at some point, heaven forbid, Bama has to part ways with Coach DeBoer. Bama's still going to be all right. That script day still carries a lot of weight. There's a lot of young athletes coming up that grew up watching this team, that wants to be a part of this team, that wants to make this team great again. It's going to be all right, man. Everything's going to be fine. Alabama's going to go out here and steamroll ULM. At least that's my hope. The last callers took the words right out of my mouth, which was, I don't care what the score is, but the defense needs to pitch a shutout. The defense has to pitch a shutout. You can't put another piss-poor performance like that on the field and expect people to keep rooting and cheering you on. If Alabama beats ULM like 24-17, I'm gonna be pissed, like royally pissed. I'm gonna be super pissed. I want the defense to pitch a shutout. Wisconsin comes to town. It is what it is. We really need to lock it come the Georgia game. We don't need to talk about bench and Ty. Ty and Jeremy Bernard were the only two players that actually pulled their weight in that game. The running backs did okay, but the rest of the wide receivers couldn't create separation. They were dropping passes. I wasn't a fan of how the wide receiver room looked as a whole. And I personally think, and this is just my opinion, I don't like Ryan Williams being in the slot anymore. We talked about it in the offseason, and it sounds really good, but now actually seeing it, I think Ryan Williams and Bernard are your burners. You put them on the outside. You put Brooks in the slot, and you have Horton out there to be your big body possession receiver. I feel like that's the squad you should run. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, clearly, I think in the slot didn't work out the way we thought. I was one of the ones that was like, yeah, the slot, and I was drawing up graphics and stuff like that. I guess I didn't ever think that, he would be, it looked like he was scared to go across the middle or whatever. I didn't anticipate that. Maybe so now I'm like, but you got wide receivers that you could do that with. Like Jeremy Bernard's bigger. Rico Scott might be the perfect fit for a slot, and then you could put Ryan Williams on the outside. I mean, we still need to see more of Isaiah Horton. I know he was, he had a little injury or whatever in that game, but you can't put him in the slot. I think we saw that experiment doesn't work. That doesn't mean that we can't get him on the field. So, I'm curious to see if they put him back on the, the outside, the boundary or whatever, but, we'll have to see. Anything else, Marcus?
Yeah, man. The last thing, I called back in and told y'all that missing Tim Keenan was going to be a big deal. When you told us that there was going to be, we have 3 people out, Bama missed Tim Keenan the same way Philadelphia missed Jalen Carter last night.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You have Jalen Carter on the field. The Eagles are going to beat the Cowboys probably by 2 scores, comfortably by 2 touchdowns. But his presence is missed, just like Tim Keenan's presence was missed out there. And that's That's huge, man. I don't know how long Tim Keene is supposed to be out, but I really hope that he comes back soon. I hope that even if Ryan Williams is cleared, sit Ryan Williams out this game and just let him heal up. This is where you have to start facing adversity, right? You took your L on national television. Okay, face adversity. How are you gonna deal with it? How are you gonna respond back to it? Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
Yep.
You got punched in the mouth, Alabama. Now get back up, beat the 10 count, collect yourself, and get back in there. So defense needs to pitch a shutout. The offense needs to show what it's capable of. Do the same thing with Wisconsin. You need to blow Wisconsin out. You need to pitch a shutout to start showing that you can be everything that people place these expectations on you, which that's not up to the players to do that. Like, we put that expectation on them. But if you say you are the best team in the country, you can go and compete with anybody, well, dang it, go show it. Go show it. I don't know, man. I'm still choosing to be optimistic. I'm gonna still support. I know everybody said they're their fans and they're gonna support the team, win, lose, or tie. I get that, but let's still rally behind them, man. Let's still cheer for our Tide and understand that we all share in this frustration together. There's nobody who's more frustrated than anybody else. We all share in this frustration. So let's rally together. Let's not try to throw our coaches underneath the bus. It was one game. Bama can still go out and go 10-2 and get in the college football playoff, or hell, even be 11-1. It's just highly unlikely, but it's still possible. So let's not hit the panic button. Everybody breathe. Everybody relax. Let's just get ready for ULM coming into town and go kick some teeth in. That's all I got, Kyle.
All right, appreciate you, man. Yeah, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I even took a deep breath with you, bro. All right, man, take it easy.
I heard you, man. Peace.
Yeah, I did. Everybody else take a deep breath with him when Marcus said that? I did. I took a deep breath. Sometimes you got to, man. You got to take a deep breath, man. Let's see. Inside the comment box, Terry says it's the media's fault. Yeah, I gas this team up probably more than. I don't listen to the other shows. I think the only other time that I saw it out there but was Josh Pate picking them to win the championship. That's when I felt really, really confident about Alabama football because nobody knows more football than him. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the film guy, I guess. The film guy started out covering Georgia, right? And then he kind of transitioned his channel into like what it is today, which is amazing. But Josh Pate is like a Bama guy, right? And he picked Alabama to win the championship. And he said he saw something at practice when they allowed him to be at practice. And that's when I felt that was kind of like the real time that this team was going to just be a buzzsaw. So what a letdown, you know what I'm saying? Because I had even been talking about every single position, the defense, all this stuff. Shoot, man. Yeah, but I see what you're saying, Terry. What's up? I like that the avatar. Jamal, what's up, man? Jamal saying something about Megatron. I guess I missed that. If you call in, and the line is busy, that just means that, you know, the call queue is busy. I pay for the call-in line. So, like, when you guys are on, like, I could have 20 lines, but I have to pay for the lines when people are on. So, you see what I'm saying? Like, this next caller, 601, been online for 12 minutes. So, we'll take it. And I appreciate you being patient. Hey, good morning. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who am I online with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, what's up, Kyle, man? This is CJ, and I'm calling from the Bahamas. I'm over here with my girlfriend. I left the wife at home.
All right, CJ says he's calling in from the Bahamas. Yo, I've been to the Bahamas. Atlantis, this is a long time ago, like 20 years ago. I've been to the Bahamas. But anyway, CJ calling from the Bahamas on a secure line. Go ahead, CJ.
Yeah, so I won about, $10,000 betting on Florida State. I still feel really bad because my team lost, and I've been drinking a lot. I've been drinking about every night since Alabama lost, but I do have faith in our boys. But I think I might have picked up a little gambling addiction, Kyle, because I just put $5,000 on ULM to beat Alabama tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, man! Well, that first one you cleared out.
Yeah, I'm going double or nothing.
What makes you confident about this bet?
Well, so if Bama loses, I win about $15,000. But if ULM loses, I'll lose $5,000, but I'll be happy that Alabama won.
100%. That was basically the recipe last time, right? And that's what got you in the Bahamas.
Yeah, yeah. I used part of that money for the bet, and then I bought a bunch of alcohol with it, because as soon as Florida kneeled it out, I went straight to the liquor store. But I really hope Ryan Williams can recover from his concussion. And I ain't gonna lie, Kyle. I was impressed with Ty Simpson's, right? I think he did a really good job protecting the football. I mean, he had some inconsistency, but I also think he made some throws that Monroe could have never made. I mean, sure, he couldn't run the ball up and down the field like Jalen Monroe could last season, but I also think Ty Simpson did a really good job commanding the offense in his first start in a hostile road environment.
Let me ask you something, CJ. Do you think that we see at any point in this game? I know I know your betting strategy, but do you think that at any point in this game we see another quarterback play, and if so, who's the first off the bench, Austin or Keelan Russell?
I think maybe they up by like 40 points, and it's like fourth quarter. They'll probably put Keelan in. Yeah.
Oh.
I think we'll get to see a little Keelan. Maybe we'll get to see some of them freshman receivers too. But yeah, I think I'm hoping for a win this weekend. But I mean, if I make more money, I make more money. That's all good.
Well, maybe you'll make enough money maybe you'll make enough money to where it's $70 million.
About to say maybe I can make enough bets we can do the Burrs buyout and we can get old Nick Saban back here. Yeah, I've been watching since the Mike DeBose era. I mean, oh God, man, I don't want to go back to them days.
Neither do I. I don't want to even taste any of those days. But I appreciate you calling in, man. Good luck to you in the Bahamas, man, and keep calling in again, man. I appreciate it.
I'll see you later. Roll turd, roll tide.
I see you. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, another 601. I think. Let's see. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Is it Jay?
Yes, it's me.
Oh my goodness!
I was gonna say that. That poser calling for my 601 number. I'm the only 601 to call the car here.
Oh man, I finally threw a completion. That was like I saw the 601 and I threw a slant pass. It looked safe. I went for it. I completed it. Jay, if you haven't seen Jay, and I've been giving him credit, he updated his avatar and he has a bucket hat, which I love. I love the bucket hat, man. And Jay explained to us why he's rolling with the bucket hat. Looks good, man. But welcome on in the show, Jay. I appreciate you calling in out of Pensacola. Go ahead, man.
Kyle, I want to see how Ty responds. I want to see how the team responds. The 2015 year we won the national championship when Ole Miss beat us. I think I was sorry. That was the year before you came. But yeah, the other year they were here last year. That was, he won the Heisman. But the 2015 season when we lost to Ole Miss, we went on to win the national championship. I fought for loss because of that team's mentality. I'm hoping this team mentality, like I kind of felt good because hearing about they had a players only meeting, and it made me feel good. I'm trying to be optimistic about it, so I'm hoping that the team can respond and use all this negative feed that they're getting to get back, but that. Well, it was a rough start for. Oh, okay. So let me ask you something. If I remember correctly, Bryce Young's first game was against Florida, correct? Against the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
His first game was a rough environment.
Yeah.
But I guess, different quarterback, different strokes. But he had a rough start and play calling, whatever the case may be, whatever the excuse may be. I believe in Ty. I hope he can get it together. And I agree with you when you said, Kyle, when you said I seen all the other quarterbacks in the ACC throwing the run.
Mm-hmm.
Was that on time, or was that? I mean, because the announcer was saying too that they did say some of the balls were catchable, but some of the throws was off. But to being part of us in Texas, being on the SEC team that lost last week, that was embarrassing. But we on to a new week, and well, I'm not concerned. I'm done giving predictions, Kyle. I ain't giving no more predictions. I'm no good no more games into Auburn. That's my next prediction to Auburn. So every time I call in Friday, it will not be a prediction to Auburn.
Okay.
I look like a fool. I look like a fool prediction. All on Twitter, I said 42-17. I look like a damn fool, and I won't do it again. But I appreciate you, Kyle.
All right, man. I appreciate you too, man. Thanks for calling in. All right, take it easy, Jay.
Oh yeah, I got your shirt coming next week too.
All right,
week,
man.
I got her getting the design together. I got you next week.
All right, man. Sounds good, Jay. Take it easy, dog.
Love it, man. God's the greatest.
Yeah, man. God is the greatest. All right. We got 601 and 936 coming up next. Yeah, Jay said he's not making any more predictions. How do you think I feel? You imagine, because I do, I not only make predictions on the YouTube channel, but on our Facebook channel, and I still get messages from Florida State fans, like all the time, about how things have aged. It's absolutely hilarious. Hey, I want to take a quick second and thank our sponsor this season, which is Sleeper. If you're interested still to be a sponsor, you can email me to nmpreps@gmail.com. The views are out of this world, but Sleeper is what I use for fantasy draft or to make picks more or less during the season. I've showed you a video about how we do that, but get a $100 match up to $100. Use the promo code RTR. And definitely download the app. Here's a quick commercial from Sleeper, and I'll be right back in just 30 seconds.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today, get up to $100 credit using the code RTR. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
All right, we're back, and we'll continue to take your calls. Make sure you download Sleeper, and you get a $100 deposit match up to $100. So check it out. Use the promo code RTR, and you'll get that $100 match. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms and details for usage currently operational in 25 states. We'll go back to the phone lines, and let's see who we got coming up. We got a 601. We'll take it right now. Hey, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
What's going on, Kyle? This is Money, man. Money McGee.
Hey, Money McGee. It sounds like you're out, like in like the factory. Let's get it. Try to get.
I actually am, brother.
Okay.
I'm actually in the factory, but
yeah, I figured. Let's try to hold on. Let me see if I can make sure we can hear you correctly. All right. So Money McGee, he's out there. He's in the field. He's working. Come with him, man. Just speak up, Money. Go ahead, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, my question is, like, how do you think we will respond this week, man? Like, that's my real honest question. Is what do you think we'll do this week?
Well, first of all, I got to tell CJ, thank you. You just hit us with the $100 super chat. So thank you, CJ.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's that Bahamas money we got.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
All
man.
right. So let's see. Asking about how they'll respond this weekend, Money McGee. Where are you calling out of, Money McGee? I didn't even get that.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm out of the great land of Mississippi, sir.
All right, Mississippi. All right. Man, I was down.
Yes,
I went down near Gulfport this past summer. It was look, they treated me nice down there. Yeah, I played in a really flat golf course. It was nice. I think they got to respond. I think that they come out, and I've been predicting that they come out fast. I'm hoping for something like, I'm trying to be optimistic, right? Like I don't care about Louisiana Monroe. I'm just watching Alabama. Like, how are these guys running on defense? Like, is it 100%? Are they playing like this is the last game of their life, right? Are they like, what type of level are they playing at? I thinking about Ty Simpson specifically, like he played, I thought, at 100% max, right? Now, there's certain things we're watching for different players, but I do think that they come out a little bit more inspired. They have to. If they don't, damn, we're in a lot of worry. So you got to see just how they play. If they come out with energy, they're in front of Bryant-Denny. It's a night game, so I think that they come out fired up. What about you? I don't feel like 100% optimistic. I haven't heard that from like anybody, but you got to be like praying for that. What about you, Money McGee?
Man, I'm very optimistic, bro, because like for the first game, you really can't. I mean, you can tell. Only thing I really took from the first game against Florida State is where's our identity? You know, what's our identity, our approach to the game? Like it looked kind of soft and timid at times. So I mean, I'm optimistic to see how we play because, like I said, it can't happen all in one game. It cannot happen in one game. So I mean, I'm just curious to see how Ty responds this week, which he played a good game, if you ask me. Everybody's down, we need to switch quarterbacks. The man played good. He didn't turn the ball over, threw for 250. He didn't turn the ball over. He did pretty good, you ask me. A real good game manager, as Cam would say. But, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just curious to see how that defense looked this week. I'm kind of shaky. I'm really shaky on Kane Womack, very shaky.
Yeah, me too. And I think that's kind of the common denominator in terms of like, you know, how many games this team wins or loses. And I think, to be honest, the question you asked me earlier, I think I kind of like stumbled on it because I don't know how this team's going to come out. I don't know. I thought it kind of made me question things when on Tuesday, when they send the players out for interviews, that they didn't send the captains out for interviews, right? Even if Tim Keenan's like banged up or whatever, send him out. Send out Ty. And that's why, like, let me ask you this inside the comment box. Who seems kind of like the leader of the team right now? Who seems kind of –
You know what my answer is.
I'll tell you mine too. It seems like Jeremy Bernard. And he's not even a captain, right?
You think great man think alike.
100%. He's not even a captain. So, the captains aren't, like, earned before the season. They're earned during the season when the bullets are flying, right? That's why I'm like, this guy's not even a captain. Now, you had him at the Hey Coach show and this and that, but that guy, it's going to be unfortunate if he continues to play like this through the season and his feet aren't inside the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jeremy playing like that guy. What else you got, Money McGee?
Man, that's it, guy. That's all I got for you this week.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in, man. I know you're working, man. So I'm working too. Put in that work, bro. I appreciate you calling in from Mississippi.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
All right,
Big
man.
fan. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide to you, man. That's Money McGee coming in. 936. We'll jump right to it. Hey, thanks for calling in. I appreciate you joining me this morning. Who am on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Kyle.
Who we got on the line today? This is a good start.
My name is Daniel, and I'm from Tony, Alabama.
Is this for real? Try it again. Hello? Did you all hear that? 936, try again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but it sounds really quiet and kind of like, are you okay?
Can you hear me?
Kinda. It is like very faint.
Oh, okay. Is that any better?
Try again. All right, 936. I had to go. Did you guys hear that? That was crazy. You know what it sounded like? It sounded like 936. I don't know. This is what it sounded like. It sounded like this. Hey, Kyle, can you hear me? You know what it sounded like? Like if we were like in a scary movie, and you know where you run up. Oh yeah. No, this is what it sounded like. It sounded like Darth Vader. That's what it sounded like. Kyle, I am your father. This is Mr. Cortez. I am your father. But it was like this. This is how it sounded to me. Hello, how you doing? All right, 334. Let's do it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with? Where are you calling in from?
This is Marvin. It's me, Marvin. I'm calling from the Birmingham area.
Marvin, what's up, dog? I appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Go ahead,
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah.
I'm calling in because I know we're talking about the prediction, but I'm concerned about a bigger problem with the team. And my biggest concern is, where's the intensity? Where's the accountability? Where's the fire?
Yeah.
It concerns me because if they play SEC play like that, we're going to be in trouble. That's all I have, brother.
All right, man. Thank you, Marvin. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, look, and sometimes the question doesn't have to be long, but it can be deep, right? Like Marvin's just asking, like, where's the intensity? And I think you go, like, kind of going back to what Money McGee said from Mississippi, it's like, yeah, okay, how does the team come out this weekend? You hope inspired, but how do they come out on the road against Georgia? How they come out on the road against South Carolina? How they come out on the road against Missouri? How they come against LSU, Tennessee, Oklahoma, on the road against Auburn? These are some crazy games that are coming up. So it's like I try to just focus on this particular game and look for the positives. And, you know, you pull out a W. And let's see, I asked inside the comment box, is Ty the guy at quarterback? 52% say yes. 38% say too early to tell. I think I want more sample size of everything. For today, is he the right guy for the job 100%? But I think this is a week by week, you know, question that we ask, because it was the coaches that told us that the competition was very close. They didn't name a starter for like until 2 weeks out, right? So, Ethan, what's up, bro? I appreciate it, man. Ethan, I hit you up with the email, man. Make sure you get back to me, by the way. Ethan, inside the comment box, one of our spiritual leaders, which we appreciate. All right, I think we got 936. We'll try this again. Let's see if we can get a little bit more volume. Hey, 936, you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me better?
Oh, my goodness. So, first of all, who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Yes, my name's Daniel. I'm from Tony, Alabama. Actually, it's right beside Huntsville, Alabama.
All right, Daniel. So, I had to tell you, man, it was crazy because the first time that you called, it sounded like you were like kind of like a mix of like Darth Vader, but you were like under the bed for like a scary movie, and you were calling because somebody was like in your house. This is how you sounded. Hey, Kyle, what's going on?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I was scared a little bit, but now we can hear you crystal clear. So welcome on in, Daniel from Tony. You said Tony is by Huntsville. Is this correct?
Right by Huntsville, yes.
I love me some Huntsville. I went to Huntsville and I've been to Madison and the Trash Pandas, right?
Good area.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's exploding 100%. Anyways,
good area.
Welcome onto the show, Daniel, calling in from Tony, Alabama.
Yes, sir. First off, rest assured, nobody's here. I'm safe. I'm good. Just calling in to provide your channel with a little energy. You do a great job. I just wanted to start off with that, but I'm not going to take much of your time, Kyle. I only wanted to say I'm agreeing with a lot of the statements. What I will say is one thing that I didn't agree with. We have a beautiful drive, the start of Florida State game, right? 17 plays. Out of those 17 plays, they say we ran the ball 12 times. One drive. The rest of the game, we ran the ball a total of, I think, 17 additional times. Now, if we had a perfect drive, we took like 6 minutes, why can't we do more of that? What's working? You see we're gashing them for 7 yards here, 8 yards here, a nice runner here. Why did we go away from what was working? Like, it worked beautifully. That's the only thing I didn't understand, but we're going to be okay, Kyle. We're definitely going to be okay. I don't think people should – yeah, we lost a season opener. You know, everybody's up and like, but I mean, hey, we have some dogs on our team. They're still there. We did get punched in the mouth, but hey, it's a season opener. Like my guy last time, a few callers ago, he said, hey, breathe, inhale, exhale. And if we can continue to do what's working, we'll be fine. That's it. We'll have Jam. We'll get Tim Keenan back. We're going to be fine. That's all I got for you, Kyle.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Daniel, calling out from near Huntsville. Thank you so much. I appreciate the call. And I'm glad you're all right, man, because it sounded like, you know, we're kind of getting – the reason I got a little bit scared, a little bit nervous is because, like you, I don't really like scary movies. but we're kind of inching closer to Halloween, right? I'm sure all your stores already have like Halloween stuff up. That's why I felt a little bit, scared. Like somebody scary was calling. I didn't know who it was. 207, let's do it. Hey, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hello, my name is Rainier. I actually am a Bama fan from the state of Maine.
From Maine?
From Maine, yeah.
All right, and when you called it, it broke up. What'd you say your name was?
My name is Rainier.
It's a little choppy. Try to come in a little bit clearer. I still didn't get your name.
My name is Rainier.
All right, Rainier from Maine. All right, where in Maine?
I live in Woolwich, so I'm on the mid-coast area of Maine.
Wow, these are like towns I've never even heard of. I honestly, we get callers from all over, but I don't think we've ever had a call from Maine. And usually I can talk a lot about every place. I've never been to Maine. Now, people are saying lobster inside the comment box. So welcome on. How did you become, what is your affiliation with Bama? How did you, become an Alabama fan?
My dad grew up in the state of Alabama.
Gotcha.
And so I've watched pretty much every single Bama game ever since I was a small kid, since I can remember.
All right. Okay.
But my mom's side of the family is from Maine, so that's how I'm here.
All right, got you, man. Well, welcome to the program. I appreciate you. Thanks for the call from Maine. Go ahead, man. It's your show.
Yeah. So I feel like everybody's just freaking out, and I mean, I watched all of Saturday. It was disappointing, but Nick Saban, he always talks about the rat poison, and I feel like there's no better example than this. Everybody was picking them to win the national championship. This is going to be the year. Kalen DeBoer is going to coach one of the best teams of all time. Their roster, they retained everything. So everybody heard that, and we got the classic rat poison effect here. I mean, they showed up, they thought they were going to win, and they really didn't expect to have to try, is what it looks like to me when I watched that game.
Mm-hmm. What is your earlier in the show, I don't know if you caught it, but we asked ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is still hopeful for like a 10-win season. Are you optimistic kind of going forward, not only past this Saturday, but when you kind of zoom out and look at the schedule?
I'm relatively optimistic. I would say my expectations definitely have lowered after Saturday, but I'd say they'll still win. I'd say 8 to 9 games would be my guess.
Right, and I think even if they would reel out like 9 games or something like that, I think in today's climate of college football that is still notable considering how college football has changed and the quantity of good football teams, right, and good coaching, specifically playing. You might win 9 games regardless of the year just playing in the SEC because teams are that good, right? So, but I think the issue that I have is the road schedule, right? And I've been talking about this for a long time. It's like they don't seem to play well on the road. Last week they lost on the road. You look at, I would imagine that Georgia's going to be more challenging on the road than Florida State. I think games like South Carolina, and I think the other game against who else? I forget who they play on the road, but off the top of my head right now. But I think those are the Auburn,
road.
Right? Yeah, Auburn and Missouri. So those are challenging games. So that's kind of what scares me, but. Hopefully they just have a bounce back this Saturday and they play more inspired. I think we just want to see them play more inspired football, right?
I think that's the biggest thing. When you watch Caden Proctor get beat 5 times in the same game, you're like, wait a second, what's going on here? And I listened to Ryan Grubb's presser, and he was like, oh, the offensive line played fine. And that was not my takeaway when I watched the game. I thought that Ty was being pressured on like nearly every single snap. I couldn't believe that. We haven't had a good offensive line in 5 years. So when is that going to change?
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Unfortunately, Caden Proctor, he's another guy that I think we have on our watch list now. Is this guy going to be the guy we think he could be, right? Because he's really hasn't hit that level yet for us. And to see him be challenged in week 1, I thought was surprising and disappointing because we knew, all right, Wilcom Formby, we're still watching you, but Caden Proctor is like supposed to be a guy, and he didn't play like that. That's why I'm saying for anybody else that is in that other quarterback group, they're like, you play with that offensive line. You run around with those tackles, right? That was 10 total pressures from Proctor and Wilcom Formby combined. So you be quarterback.
Yeah. That was the part that surprised me the most. I've been, listening to the show, listening to other shows, and people are like trying to blame Ty Simpson. I'm just like, he didn't play amazing, but he did not play bad by any means. When you get pressure on every snap, no wonder you can't develop any rhythm. There's no surprise there.
Wow, and surprising, 32% of fans out of 40 votes have been to Maine, while 68% have not been. I have not been to Maine. All right, man. Yeah,
Maine's beautiful.
No, 100%. I definitely want to get out there. Anything else before we move on?
No, Kyle, great to talk to you.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right, that was our first caller from Maine. Wow. You know what we need? We need a map of all the places that we've had calls for, something like that. You know what I'm saying? We'll take a couple more calls. Honestly, I could probably have a call-in show that went 8 hours. All right. I see Miss Ebony Carter up inside the comment box. What's up, Ebony? I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. She's going to be on the quad tomorrow. Okay. We got Carnival Cruise Guy. What's up? I haven't been on a cruise in a minute. And there's a lot of shows now about cruises that kind of make you a little weary about who's recently been on a cruise. Did you come back? Were you safe? Right? All right, 850, let's do it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Anderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Cody from Crestview, Florida.
Cody, what's up, dog? Thanks for calling in. Welcome to the show. Cody from Florida. Take it away, man.
Look, I still think Bama could pull it off. I still have my doubts with the coaching staff. Now, I do know the buyout is $70 million, but I still think from other Bama networks, it's $120 if you add the assistant coaches and stuff. If I do have problems with Caden Proctor, he needs to lose a little bit more weight. And from a previous YouTube short with that FSU games, he puts his hand down, put it right directly to your face. That's how you don't let a 6'6" guy go right through you. But I still think, in my opinion, when you look at the list of coaching, I still think, Jimbo Fisher is one ideal because Jimbo Fisher said he had a lot of respect for Saban, and he has been an assistant DB at LSU under Saban. So that's one. John Gruden is an offensive coordinator, won Super Bowl, but still, I mean, really, to be honest, they need to put some intensity in that stuff. The defense really needs to step up for me because when you look at running quarterbacks like Lenore Sellers at South Carolina, somebody needs to go low on his legs and somebody needs to clothesline his head off. I want LT to go low, and I want a guy like Bray Hubbard to just go over there and just clothesline him, and he ain't getting up. That's what I want Alabama's defense to do. I want that grit, that fire, that intensity. Saban did that. The only problem is I think DeBoer and Kane Womack, because of his scheme, it's really failed because he took over from his dad, and no wonder Saban beat his dad so many times at Ole Miss for that fact of the matter. So I still think they need to go back, start watching Washington film. We have schemes dating since Bear Bryant for 12-0 seasons with Bart Starr, for God's sake. Why don't we use the offensive scheme and defensive scheme from 1943 till Saban, and then you got the best offensive schemes and defensive schemes, and nobody's ever seen those playbooks in 100 years. So in other cases is you got yourself national championships with the boy if you use a Bear Bryant playbook or you use the Nick Saban playbook. Because right now the schemes that they're doing ain't it. And Ryan Grubb needs to use his running backs more because John Gruden, the reason why I would put John Gruden over Ryan Grubb is John Gruden knows how to use his running backs in an offensive scheme. He has used it before. But roll tide to you, Kyle. I'm about to get going. I'm going to watch that game eventually, but I still have my hopes. The only thing I'm scared about is that Georgia game with Alabama. If Alabama doesn't play too good, those boosters ain't going to have a good time. And I guarantee you those boosters ain't going to have a good time. They're going to watch from the outside in. So roll tide to y'all. Roll tide to everybody in the chat. I'll see y'all later.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right. That was a good call from Cody out in Florida. Hey, remember, get inside of the raffle today. We're doing this Block A style Alabama hat, just $5 to get in. How to get into the raffle? You get Bama_YouTube Cash App, Bama YouTube, still wide open. We'll spin the pinwheel tomorrow before the game. So definitely get in that pinwheel. Plenty of areas to get in. Hey, do you guys want to take some more calls? We got a 770 and a 907. I'm just kicking it. I'm going to take a quick break. Truth be told, I'm just going to go down and just get one more cup of coffee, and then I'll kick it with you guys. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll take more calls. Stay inside the comment box. Someone play Leader of the Pack inside the comment box, and I'll be right back here on Bama Football on YouTube. Give me just a few minutes. I'll be right back. Have you subscribed to Bama on Football on YouTube? Well, you better, because Bama Football on YouTube will be live tomorrow during the game for the watch-along against Louisiana Monroe. Start time probably around 6:30 p.m. Don't go anywhere. Kyle Henderson back on Bama Football on YouTube. Fam, what's up? I'm back. See, that wasn't too long. All right, so I'm going to tell you what. We'll take a couple more calls. I'm just chilling. I know we got a 770-907 and 251 coming up next. But I'll tell you what. You follow me on Instagram. I will tell you guys where I will be tomorrow at some point for the tailgate. I work pretty much all Saturday for the games, like usually, but for an evening game, I'll be able to probably go down to the quad. So follow me on Instagram, or you can stay, you can see the community tab, and I'll tell you where I'm going to be. All right. I won't be there for long. But I'll probably go down tomorrow. All right. All right, let's see who else we got. 770, let's take it. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who am I online with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, I'm Lou from the ATL.
Hey, Lou, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in from Atlanta, man. Come with it.
Hey, yeah. So I'm going to be honest, straightforward. I'm a new Alabama fan. I've been following the Tide for about almost like 4 or 5 years. I actually got married into it. Prior to that, I didn't really watch college football, but my father-in-law actually played for Alabama back in the 70s. So he's been kind of schooling me on football. But I just want to say something. I've been following the Tide for 4 years now. And one thing that's very obvious right now is and this is a problem like across sports. It's like a lot of the new athletes don't really have that dog in them anymore. And I say this because I'm a huge soccer fan, and even it happens in soccer. Like a lot of these new athletes are kind of, they're soft. They're more worried about clubbing, having fun, what happens after the game, making TikToks and whatnot. And I kind of see this with Alabama now. I was actually at the Tennessee-Alabama game back when Bryce Young, when the Tide lost for the first time in like 16 years. And one of the observations I made was like, those boys, they just came out of the tunnel like scared. They came out scared. They came out timid. And, in teams that I followed back, back in the day, and even in boxers, there used to be athletes that just like had that, if you're trying to kill me, I'll kill you first mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the athletes like these that were in Alabama football was like Malachi Moore. He was like one of the last breeds of like, shit, if you're trying to get on the ring with me, you gotta be willing to die yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't see this with the Alabama football team right now. I mean, I went to the Georgia game also last year, and it was a completely different atmosphere. But the thing about it is it's inconsistent. You have to have that mentality every weekend. Go out there, forget the external factors, and just play the game, Like, go out there and it's man-to-man,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something that I see across sports. I mean, there used to be dogs in boxing like Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez, Sugar Ray.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now all of these boxers are like, kind of softish, know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just an observation I made. Like I said, I've only been following the Tide for 4 years, and I'm a fan now because I'm married to it. But yeah, man, I think one of the problems that the Tide has to fix is just, like getting into the right mentality. Just going out there with force. And if a man tells you, he's going to do something to you before the game, damn, show up, man.
Yeah.
Show up.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But yeah.
Good call, Lou. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling into Atlanta. I really like your points, man. Take it easy, bro.
No problem. Thank you.
You know what? I have to. I love this. Okay, because have we is this bigger than like what is happening right now with just Alabama football as a society? Oh no, not even as a society, as a country, right? Have we gotten soft, right? Have we lost kind of that dog mentality of being like, the best, like pumping our chest? You know what I'm saying? Not like in a egotistical way, but like have we lost like that sense of like we want to be the best, right? At every single thing, whether that's cutting your front yard, right? Or whether that's like, just having a great representation of yourself. Like, have we lost that? And why? Like, does that kind of, I always bring it up all the time because I'm a huge Rocky fan, but man, like that eye of a tiger, like that exists. Like that's real. Are there people still out there like that? I don't know, right? Have we lost that? That's terrifying if we have. I don't know. That's scary to think about because that's kind of the difference between like winning and losing, right? From like an entire culture standpoint. I don't know, something to think about. Lou coming with it. He married, and I love Luke. He was like, I married into this. And he's right about boxing. Who's a boxing fan? I like boxing. I've been a boxing fan. We all grew up on boxing. If you're kind of, same age as me, we grew up boxing fans. Remember when you had to use pay-per-view? Remember that? All right, 907. Hey, welcome to the show. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, what's up, Kyle? This is Adrian from Fairbanks, Alaska. How are you?
Are you serious? Adrian, what's up, dog? I appreciate you. Are you serious? You're in Alaska?
Hey, yeah, bro. I'm up here in the 907. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So we went from Maine to Fairbanks, Alaska. So surely we didn't take Spirit Airlines. They couldn't make it that far. I don't know what airline we took.
Nah.
Well, we're across. Now we're in Fairbanks. Man, I don't know if we might have had a call from Alaska. I don't know. But anyways, man, what time is it out there?
Hey, it's 8:41.
Okay, all right. So yeah.
You're in Alabama, right? 1:41 your time. So
yeah. No, it's 11:41 Central Time here.
Oh, 11:41. That's right. My bad.
Anyways,
well, hey man, first time caller. You know, I've been watching your show on YouTube. I enjoy the show, man. But man, let me tell you, I have been so frustrated since last year. I used to be able to sit down in front of my TV and just be as animated as Nick Saban is on the sideline when something goes wrong.
Yeah. Yep.
I've been so laid back sitting here watching my TV, shaking my head. I get up and go do something just so I don't have to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is with this team, or maybe it's the coaching staff. I don't know. But I don't see the passion in anybody anymore. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think it's a perfect segue from Lou in Atlanta to what you're talking about here, Adrian, is like kind of that passion in that sense of like, yo, like if somebody calls you out, yo, you better show up and tell. It's like somebody, you know what it reminds me of? Like one of the greatest movie scenes that I love. We have any fans of Troy here, right? Troy? Remember when Achilles, he goes up, right, to, the huge castle and he just calls him out. Right. And he's like, come out. And he goes out there and they like settle it out. And it's like that was like that combative like mentality. Somebody rings your doorbell. Right. Somebody comes in your house. You better show them who the dog is. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
I don't know if that exists. And that's the same thing. When people come to your house, they better know who the owner of the house is. Somebody puts their feet up on your table. I am telling them, hey, this is my house. We don't do that here. We take off our shoes at the house. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are my rules. This is my house. All right? And I love you.
Exactly.
And thank you for coming to my house. But these are my rules. Now, here, have an old fashioned and chill.
Yeah.
But same thing with the kids. Kids coming to the house. Yo, all you take off your shoes. Look, I am the adult in the house. These are my rules. Right? But I don't know if this exists anymore. It seems like this is a larger problem. We've kind of gone off into like one of the larger problems that we might be facing as a society, which is scary.
Yeah. I agree, man. I don't know. Just watching this football team can be very frustrating, and I mean, my passion is gone just watching it. I mean, I would be sitting in front of my TV, and I ain't gonna lie to you, Kyle. I'd be yelling, hollering, screaming. I don't cuss, but every now and again a word will slip out, you know. And I mean, I just be disgusted, and then I got to talk to somebody afterwards just to vent my frustration, you know, which is another fellow Alabama fan. Yeah. So I hope they can get their stuff together, man, because it seems to me like it's going to be the same old thing, and you get the same old excuse from Kalen. I can't call him Coach Kalen or Coach DeBoer. I just call him Kalen now because at this point I just don't know. So, but anyway,
all right, man.
I just wanted to call into the show and
appreciate it.
Say you're doing a good job and keep it up.
All right, man. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. That's Adrian calling out from Fairbanks, Alaska. We went from Maine. The scope of this channel is wild. So we went from Birmingham, then we went to Tony, Alabama, right, which is near Huntsville. I never heard of Tony, to be honest. Then we went to Maine, right? I didn't find out where in Maine did we go to. I didn't catch the city. Was it Rainier? Right? I couldn't hear his name. The next time he calls, I'll find out. Then we went to Florida. Then we went to Atlanta. And then we went to Atlanta. And then we went to Alaska. All right, 251. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, what's up, Kyle? It's Matt down in Mobile. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. We went from Fairbanks to Mobile. This is more my, I'm more comfortable with the call from LA. So it's wild, just kind of the amount of fans. That shows you the brand of Alabama football. It's just always amazing to me. People all over the world calling in. If you zoom out and think about how far Fairbanks is from Tuscaloosa, it's just mind blowing. So Matt, I appreciate you joining us, man. Come with it. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I graduated from Florida State, but being from here, I'm not even a Florida State fan, and so I'm just call me disloyal. I don't know. I just the Crimson's been in my blood since I was a kid with my family and watching the games with my dad and all that.
So you must have been sick this past weekend.
I was sick. Right, that's what I wanted to talk. Right when it happened, I was sick, and I was like, hey, we need to get rid of DeBoer. I don't think DeBoer is a good fit for Bama and everything like that. And for whatever reason, the last couple of days, I've kind of had an epiphany of, I was like, okay, let's put things in perspective here. I was looking at Nick Saban's first year at Alabama, and, he had a loaded roster. He had Upchurch, Terry Grant, Glenn Coffey, Greg McElroy, a lot of big players on that team. It was a top 10, and Saban went 7-6 that first year. And DeBoer's first year 9-4. If we would have just won the Vandy game or Oklahoma game, we would have been in the playoffs. Everybody would have been perfectly happy with DeBoer's first year. With just a few plays, if there was just a few different plays, this whole narrative of and hatred for DeBoer, or hesitancy, not hatred, but just I rewatched that Florida State game again, and I have kind of changed my mind. I know the effort wasn't there, but I think the effort was because of poor preparation and coaching, because they just didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you don't know what to do, what are you going to put the effort into when you don't even know what, when you don't even have a plan?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at these recruits that Kalen DeBoer is looking at, these taller wide receivers, these taller quarterbacks. He's got a completely different system than Saban. His offensive system approach is completely different. He's looking for bigger, taller, just more passing. And so I think if we're to compare Saban to DeBoer, we have to compare them in their first. We have to compare them in the time frames that they were in. We can't compare DeBoer to Saban after 10 years. We can only compare DeBoer to Saban's first year. So, which DeBoer has outperformed him. I know you could say that, well, we have a better roster. I beg to differ. That 2007 roster was awesome that Saban had.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I've changed my mind on DeBoer. I was really upset right after the Florida State loss. I think we need to give him 4 years minimum. Let him build what he wants. and give him the time. I think that we are doing him a huge disservice for calling for his firing and wanting to make the change and everything like that, because we're hurting the recruiting and we're hurting the future of Alabama football. Who are we going to get if we get rid of DeBoer? I think it'll be a disaster if we get rid of DeBoer and we don't support him for at least 4 years minimum. Give him the time to get all of his recruits in there. Give him the benefit of the doubt, no matter how bad we do these first 3 years. Keep supporting DeBoer and talking positive, and give him a chance. So that's kind of been like my epiphany I've had the last couple of days. Is like, wait a second, if we get rid of DeBoer, who are we going to go with? It's going to be worse. It's going to destroy the recruiting. It's going to be worse. We need to give it time and not freak out.
I think one of the issues is, and I want to get your take on this, Matt, as well, because you're one of the few callers that have had this particular take, which I appreciate. I like to hear each side of the spectrum. But I think one of the main issues that fans are having such a problem with is kind of they can sense a culture change and kind of the lack of intensity from the headman. And I think fans are feeling that that's spilling over into the program and that players are starting to play soft, that Alabama is most importantly viewed as soft. And look, a buyout of however many million, let's say it's 70 million, right? You tack on the assistant coaches as well, right? 20 million or whatever. What about NIL? What does that do to the players that would probably hit the transfer portal and having to buy new players? You could theoretically be talking about $130 million or something like that for a changeover. It is interesting to think about. And I think fans have also pointed out, opposing fans have pointed out, well, Steve Sarkisian in his second year, he had struggles. This coach had second year struggles. I don't know. I guess the one thing that I would point to is like kind of the culture and the lack of intensity, because here in the South, here in the SEC, in my opinion, strictly, I think you got to be an absolute dog as a head football coach. I mean, the other coaches are all alphas, and if you don't have that presence, I think you kind of get ran over. Anything else, Matt, before we move on to the next caller?
No, it might not be. That might not be DeBoer. How was DeBoer able to motivate all of his other teams for the last 10 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How was he able to motivate them? Mm-hmm. It's not a location. It's not a location in the United States. That's the problem. It's not about the South versus it. How is he able to motivate everybody else? Mm-hmm. He's won everywhere he's been. I say we keep our mouth shut until he has his 4 years.
Yeah, but Matt,
stop being a whiny pout and whine and everything like that.
The problem is, Matt, though, he's won everywhere else except the SEC. Everywhere else does not exist, the SEC.
He's only been there 1 year. We were saying the same thing about Saban his first year. We were saying the same thing. Saban had a worse record than DeBoer his first year. I'm saying keep things in perspective. Look at the facts. DeBoer had a better first year than Saban. I'm saying look at the facts.
He also had a better team, I think, his first year, right? And he didn't lose on the road. I think the losses on the road are a continuing issue. The losses from a defensive coordinator that can't stop the run are an issue. The lack of effort is an issue. All right, that was Matt. I love that call. By the way, Matt, I love you, bro. Call back again. The thing about it is when, I think this first year, right, and the second year, you have to see, where we go. And I think what has been so polarizing as fans is to see that first loss of the season. And that's how bad it hurt, right? But you do have a lot of people still in DeBoer's corner, right? Saying, look, it's going to take time, right? It's going to take this. And, what he's done in the past has, he's won, all right? So, all right. Let's move on to our next call. I love it. All right, 256. Let's do it. 256, you're on the line with Kyle. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, how you doing? This is Kenny from Goodwater. Called you last week.
What's up, Kenny? I appreciate you. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, man. Hey, Matt seemed like a cool dude, but he needs a Valium or something, man. He was real
No,
upset.
but see, the thing about it is, like, you call in and say what you want. Matt, he believes, man. Look, there's people out there that believe.
I do too, Kyle. He was talking about, let's look at the facts, okay? Let's look at a few facts here. In the last 10 games, we're 5-5. That's my facts. You know what I mean?
100%.
And looking at Saturday, dude, I've been an Alabama fan since I was born. I always will be. But, geez, man, it's so glaring what's going on. You said it last week. You were saying all the time, stop teams from running the ball on us. And what happened? Right down our throat. Man, you're not going to win any games like that. I mean, you're just not. I'm sorry. And you was right about this country being soft. And that's just the way it is. And I think about, I hope a football team ain't going woke or some crap like that. But what else can you think, man? It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's but I think you're right. Like as I think about it, it's like while this is year 2 and it's barely week 1, it's like 2-5 on the road stands out to me. Gus Malzahn said that he practiced all summer long to be able to take advantage of Kane Womack. That stands out to me. I didn't even notice really, and it was crazy to me. Like watching that game, the lack of effort, I didn't necessarily see it until afterwards. Like I saw it on social media and stuff like that, and I was like, damn, like I couldn't believe that. Like a player like Bray Hubbard, for example, right? Like that's like our shining star of a guy who's like a blue collar type dude who like we believe in, and to see him doing that, I thought that was concerning. But the problem is, I think, me too. Yeah. But I think the common denominator is like if you want to beat Alabama football, run the ball. Like I'm a YouTuber and I know how to beat Alabama football.
And bring people down in the box. Just say you're not going to run on us. Do something. Put 11 guys on the line of scrimmage. Do something. Kane Womack I'm sorry, he just does not have a coach. We're seeing the same thing we saw last year. And Kyle's not going to get any better, bad as I hate to say it. I mean, we're lucky to win 4 games last year because, South Carolina could have beat us. We could have lost more games. So, with the road games we got this year, it's going to be rough not to lose 6-7 games. So, I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, I was going to tell you, too, a week or so ago, you mentioned you was had to take care of your dogs, man, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if you've been following, man, shoot, the last how many years it's been pretty bumpy for me. I've talked about that. And my dog almost died on top of that in January. Little Pearl. Remember this? Remember I was I was driving up. Oh my God. It was the worst.
That's a family member, man.
100%.
know. I think the same way of my dog, and I appreciate you for that, man. I really do.
Yeah, that was those are some rough times. I was so nervous about her. Now she's, running around doing her stuff, which I'm grateful for. But, yeah, pet life is real life.
Yeah, man, I know.
All right, Kenny, I appreciate it, man. Thanks, sir. Go ahead, man.
Okay, Kyle. Hey, man, listen, we need you to stay in Tuscaloosa now. Don't go back to New Mexico. We need you bad, right? Need you bad, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Kenny. Take it easy, dog. All right, man. See ya.
Okay, take it easy, man. Bye.
All right, 912, you're up next. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, I don't know if you can hear me, but this is Lucas from Georgia.
Lucas, what's up, man? I can hear you. Come with it, man. Welcome to the show.
No way. I didn't think I'd be able to get on the line, but it's good to talk to you, Kyle. I love your content, man. Matter of fact, last season or before last season when we found out that Saban was retiring, your video was the first one that I watched, and it gave me a little bit of assurance and peace about the whole situation. And since DeBoer's been the coach, I've kind of had like an uneasy feeling at first, and then I've kind of looked into the stats a little bit. I think he was like 113 and like 10, 13
Mm-hmm.
in all of his coaching career, which is, outstanding. And I know that Saban had a hand in the hiring process. And there's something about, like everybody says it, the guy that follows the guy. It's an uphill battle. Like there's nothing you can really do about that to make it the perfect storm or make it the best situation to come into. It's always going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've got to, like DeBoer says to the kids, like cut it loose. They're still young men. They're not kids. They're young men, and they're still learning about life, and they've got life situations, as do we all.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's from the 18 to 25 year age. It's like you get out of high school, you've got a lot of stuff to try to figure out in your life. And I know that a lot of people will kind of give them crap online for the effort and the enthusiasm in which you play with that we're accustomed to seeing from the Saban built teams and the guys that have came through our program. And I would just say that I think we should probably cut DeBoer some slack just because it's not easy, and there's more parity in college football than there ever has been. And like the losses last year, or the could-be losses last year, what happened to Oklahoma, inexcusable. We had guys out there, Kendrick Law specifically, not blocking on a pick-six play, and just like effort like that, we feel like we got rid of in the off season. And we brought in some guys, all the guys that really wanted to play. We didn't have any portal exits. We had the team that we thought that we needed. So it was a huge shock when we went into Tallahassee and we just got our butts whooped, plain and simple. But there's a lot to say when you're playing with your hair on fire, going into a gap to make a tackle. It's far different than not knowing what the hell you're doing and going into the gap to try to make the tackle, just because you can get displaced. You get offensive linemen that are, that they have the same body mass and everything as you do. It's just easy for them. If you have one wrong step and you're already a bigger guy, you're not as agile, they can just push you right on out. And especially when you're getting double teamed and you have like jet motions and like sweeps, quarterback runs, stuff like that, a lot of misdirection, which is Gus Malzahn's bread and butter, to be honest. He specializes in that. When you give him a whole off season to pull off what he pulled off, it's honestly like just going into a wasp nest and just getting fully ambushed by something that somebody else is a mastermind in, which would be Gus Malzahn. So I feel like DeBoer probably not getting the best test early on. We're looking at a Florida State team that could end up going to the ACC championship, and we look back on week one like it's almost like playing, like a Clemson or a Miami, who are obviously really good in their debut this season. And I feel like that when we look back on this, if Alabama does go 10-2, if we go into Georgia after beating ULM, Wisconsin, and if we even keep it close, I think that'll change the perspective for a lot of fans. And I feel like that'll change the perspective for a lot of the boosters and the rest of the people in the building too, just to have a fire lit back up in your butt to go out there and play like we're used to seeing Saban teams play. And I feel like with everything that's given for like the portal era, and I know there's a new law passed on that and everything, but like with the parity and everything that came into college football, I feel like we'll look back on this and everybody will have realized that we could have pressed we shouldn't have pressed the panic button on DeBoer so soon. I think he's going to be a pretty good coach, and I feel like he's a good people person. And I think that what he's telling the kids or the guys right now is probably exactly what they need to hear. And I know that they're probably not very happy with the performance that they put out on the field. And I quite frankly think that they'll come out for the rest of the season, honestly, and just play like they should have in week one, or what we should have seen, what we all expected. So.
Yeah, good call, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in from Georgia today, man. And I think that I'll answer on the other line, man. But thanks for calling in. Good call. I think as we get towards the back end of the weekend, right? One day away from game day, you're starting to see, I look at the poll right now, there's 81 people. It's not a huge amount that have voted, but 64% within that group feel that Coach Kalen DeBoer does need more time. And I think, like I've been saying, tomorrow on the post-game show, we're going to be happy. Right, you're not going to leave that game disappointed, right? I mean, the nuclear threat is clearly they lose that game. Come on, that's not realistic. And then you gain some more momentum against Wisconsin, right? So you look to kind of that first game was just it was a disgusting taste of whatever it was. and you try to take a step forward in week 2, in week 3. And look, like Matt just called, Lucas who just called, the board does have people that are still pulling for him and are like, look, this is year 2, week 1, support him, right? So there's still people pulling for him for sure. 612. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson.
Hey, man.
Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, man, this is Jonathan. I'm from Hoover.
Jonathan, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in from Hoover. Welcome to the show.
Hey, man. Yeah, dude. Been watching your show for a year plus now, man. Love your show. I know you're not from Alabama, dude, but I love your perspective. I love how you come across in your shows. You don't homer a lot. You give the facts, man. So I appreciate you taking my call. I walked out of the office to jump in my truck to call you. Glad I got on. But I just wanted to kind of discuss like a few things. First off, like my main thing was like my dad coached for 30 years and we're fans obviously, but my dad tries not to be a fan completely. He tries to analyze it and be like, say how it is and shows me what he sees and stuff like that. And the one thing he brought up to me, and so a lot of people know this already. They already know what I'm probably going to say, and they've probably heard it before. When's the last time Alabama had a 1,000-yard rusher? 2020, Brian Robinson. When's the last time, we had a very physical defensive line? It's been a couple of years. When's the last time we had some recruits that we got that ended up just being on the offensive side of the ball, just ended up being absolute monsters where we didn't have gaps in our offensive line? It's been a little bit. That's the one thing I have an issue with, and you probably I think you brought it up a call or two ago where you were just talking about the run game, and it's just like, where will we ever have another 1,000-yard rusher, or are we away from that era, or are we just so big into the NFL style, give it to a bunch of different 2 or 3 different guys and kind of keep it like that, or will we ever have like another Najee Harris? You may not get another Derrick Henry physical body size, but we ever have that kind of guy that can just take over a game outside of the quarterback? I mean, it just seems like if anybody can have a quarterback take over, it would be DeBoer. But I just don't know if we'll ever have a run game like we did in the past. I don't know if it's even possible. I think you'll maybe see a 500-yard receiving from a running back or something like that, maybe 1,000 if he's an absolute freak, But it just seems like we've gotten away from that, and I don't see us going back towards it. And the other thing I wanted to bring up was I'm just not a big fan of Kane Womack's defense. I'm a 4-2-5 guy. I love 4 down is just so perfect. I think the one reason it worked last year, specifically against Georgia, was because, and you probably noticed this, but maybe I can refresh your mind, is like we loaded the box the first half of the game. Like we were just saying, beat us over the top. And we were just, and we'd make the quarterback make a quick decision. And Carson Beck is really good, I think he's going to be. He's a draftable quarterback. He's probably our top two, first, second round quarterback. But I'm just not a big fan. I like DeBoer. I think we should give him time. But his demeanor is just so foreign to Alabama.
Yeah.
That we're not used to somebody being so freaking patient and so chill, even when things are rough. But watching that interview a few weeks ago or a couple of days ago, where he was just kind of like deer in the headlights, it was kind of scary, and I didn't really like. It was just like, wow, that was like, it's kind of like when you get new to a job and somebody asks you a question, and you're talking to a client or something like that, and you're just like, and you're just kind of fumbling over your words. But it's like, well, you've been there for a year, so you should be, maybe you should be used to it, maybe you shouldn't, but we've all been there as like a new employee somewhere or new to something where we don't know the answer. And it seemed as if he was so caught off guard by it and it was so direct, but it was also brought up not super harshly, like, why is your team not good? Or why did y'all not do well, even though you said you prepared well, but it was just one of those things where I was like, man, like his body language, reading his body language, all these different things that looked so foreign to Alabama fans and even fans across the nation that are just so used to seeing Saban talk with his hands and answer questions so perfectly, and sometimes even like going at reporters, and stuff like that. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I wonder if we just need to let DeBoer's, system of doing things kick in. And I'm not saying he has all the answers, and maybe the DC will be changed or something like that, or something like, or whatever. But I think the main thing is, we just got to get used to the way things are, and I think it'll get better. I don't think that Ty Simpson's as bad as we think he is. I mean, Florida State is like an SEC style team. I mean, they're one of three in the SEC. It's probably Clemson, probably Miami. It's probably Miami, Clemson, and them. And that quarterback, man, I saw his highlights at BC. I mean, he was a complete headache. He is so fast, and he's so perfect for Gus Malzahn. He's a Nick Marshall, He's a headache. He looks at one read, and that's all it takes, and he just takes the lid off right there. He only passed it 14 times. Completed 9 of them. Only took him 9 completions to beat us by 2 touchdowns. And if they would have kept up that momentum, we figured it out. You saw us figure it out in the second half, right? You saw us start to just load the box up, and I'm like, that's just what you got to do against Gus. You just got to load the box up, and that's how we beat Georgia last year. If you watch that first half where we took over, until Kirby's offense kind of figured it out and their defense started to stop us, like, we loaded the box, and I'm wondering if one of those situations where it's like, just kind of bring the house almost every play to kind of get the lead quickly, because it's easy to play it from ahead. I mean, even DeBoer mentioned that, playing from ahead or playing from behind is so hard, but I'm like, you got to get out quick and fast in this new era. It's not 2012 where you can just score 7 points and it's getting towards the end of the second, you make 14, and then the next thing you know, Bama second half just takes over with their depth and stuff like that. Now you're in the era of, like, you got to score points quick and you got to get ahead quick. And I don't know if Kane Womack's the answer. I don't like his defense. I'm not a big fan of just seeing those 3 down linemen. I mean, you're going to get out blocked and you're going to get exposed. But I don't think it matters how much Bama wins by this weekend. But I just don't want people to overreact just because, it does take time. Like that one caller a few seconds ago that kind of got heated. He kind of got heated up about it. I mean, we have the right to be upset, and we have the right to not be upset, But I think that we should think about what he could do with this talent. And considering players aren't not committing, we're still getting good players, and that will pay dividends. And I asked my dad this question. I call my dad almost every day on the way into work. And I asked him, I think I heard this, or maybe it was just me thinking. Maybe I heard it. I said, does skill beat, or does talent beat discipline? And he said yes, but he's like, when you have teams like Ohio State and Georgia who got both, it's like they're going to beat the brakes off of you, And if Bama can just get the discipline down, the talent's there. Discipline's something. And Saban has quotes on it and stuff. I mean, it's just like, man, you can get that talented player to be disciplined, dude. This new era is weird. It is weird. The kids are different. They do this stuff on social media. That's never going to go away unless, like, unless the coaches crack down on it or want to do something about it. I mean, it seems that they're okay with it. It kind of, I don't know. I'm foreign to it all. But the main thing I think right now is just giving it more time. I think we overreacted. I think we can all look back and think I overreacted. I was memeing my own team the other day, making fun of them, like, to my buddies, just memeing my own team. Like, the guy that flipped off the camera, I memed that, my buddies. I'm just like, this is, like, kind of funny. Like, and then now you look back on it, you're like, that it's not that big of a deal. Florida State's not some crappy team. They got good players. Gus is a headache, But, yeah, man.
All right, Johnny. Yeah, I appreciate the call, man. Good perspective, man. And we'll call again, man. But I appreciate the call from Hoover, man.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right, man. Take it easy. Yeah, I like that. John said that he calls his dad almost every day. So do I. After I, get in the workout, I always I either call one of my parents. My dad is. I don't even know if that guy sleeps. So I know he's up. So I could call him super early in the morning. If you have your parents, call him, right? 100%. And it's crazy now that I'm a parent. I'm thinking about my kid, my son. He'll almost be out of the house, right? That's gonna be wild. What are we gonna do then, fam? All right, 812's been on for a while, and 770. We'll take him. 828. Hey, welcome to the show. You're on with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from? 828.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
What's up, man? Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
My name is Rashay. I'm calling from Charlotte, North Carolina.
You say Rashi?
Rashay.
All right, Rashay. What's up, man? From Charlotte?
Not much. Thank you. Yeah, from Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes,
All right,
sir.
come with it, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to say something that I had noticed from a couple of our players when they go stand up at the podium and they do interviews. Because I listen to things that they say, right? Like our leaders, like Jeremy, Tim Allen. You know, some of the leaders, some of the things that they've said. And one thing that I keep picking up on that they say, they continuously said that I've never heard before from our Bama standard that throws me off is when they say we go out here and coach allows us to be ourselves. And that's cool, right? I get it. We all used to play sports. I understand that, you know, that's how it goes. You want to be yourself, but it kind of throws me off because it makes me believe that they don't understand what the Bama standard means. So, like, I never heard Coach Saban say, I tell these players to be themselves. Or I never heard, you know, any other player from the past say things like, you know, we go out here and we're ourselves. I always would hear them say stuff like, you know, we stick to the Bama standard. We play how Alabama is supposed to play. So when these players like Jeremy Bernard, I do consider him as one of the leaders on the team, but he has said that a lot lately. Like a lot of those guys have said, you know, Coach DeBoer allows us to be ourselves. So that's kind of like playing with free will, you know what I mean, versus playing with like the Bama standard passion. You know what I mean? Like I watched one of your last episodes and you showed some of your highlight tapes. So I know you are a former football player. So you get where I'm coming from. It's like the Alabama standard has never been be yourself. You know, the Alabama standard is like put your pride to the side and play football how we play football. So I don't know if you've heard that or if any other listener or viewer has heard those guys say that. But when they get up there to the podium and they say, you know, Coach allows us to be ourselves, that kind of throws me off a little bit. I'm not going to lie. So I don't know how you feel about that, if you've heard anybody say that or those guys say that.
Yeah, I recently kind of, you know, I'll answer on the other line, Rashi. I appreciate you calling in from Charlotte, bro.
Thank you. I'm getting off. Thank you, man.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right, it kind of made my ears perk up. I don't know why. I'm still, maybe Rashi's kind of getting to it. It was like when Coach was saying just kind of let loose and kind of do your thing. I don't know if the guys were like playing too tight or what it was. Because it doesn't seem like Coach Kalen DeBoer is controlling at all. So I'm still trying to like figure out what that meant. And I think the players, look, these guys are getting to a point where they're DeBoer guys and they didn't have Coach Saban around. But I don't know. Like I do feel that there's leadership still within this team. The best football will be played, but that is something to think about too. Is that kind of from the mentality standpoint? What do these players have, and where did they get it from that are here now, right? Because I saw a graphic just recently that said from like the class of 2023, only like 3 guys are still here, which is crazy to think about. All right, 770. Let's do it. Yeah, I appreciate you calling in. Who am I on line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, this is Camille. I'm calling in from Atlanta, Georgia, Bulldog Country.
Hey, Camille, I appreciate you calling in from ATL. Yeah, you know, it must be tough to be an Alabama football fan, live in Georgia, Tennessee, right? Those are like 2 of the enemy line territories. Or like, can you imagine if you live in like Tallahassee? My goodness. Anyways, Camille, welcome to the show. I appreciate you calling in. Come with it.
Yeah, hey, I'm not going to be on long. I'm just saying this, and I don't mean to be like the wet blanket. I think I'm going to my husband's a Georgia fan. My sons are. My daughters and I, we're on the good side. We're Alabama fans. We're going to the games this weekend. I think that one caller who was talking about, you know, how fans get down and talking really bad about the coach, you know, how it can hurt recruitments and stuff. Look, I still want the fan base to show up. We still got to make, you know, Tuscaloosa a place people don't want to go to play in. Like, we got to do our part. But at the same time, I think we are truly seeing who we got as a coach. And I don't know the man personally, so I don't want to sit here and badmouth him, but I just get like big Mark Richt energy from him. I just very, very passive, I get it. It's a tough position. Nobody would want to come in after Saban. I wouldn't want to try to take it over. But what's concerning to me is just the lackadaisical. Even in the interviews, I was just really shocked at just how passive he seems to be. And Womack's a whole nother situation. I wasn't impressed with him last year. I'm still not impressed with him this year. I'm not saying, I don't want to be a fair weather fan. I'm going to be an Alabama fan if we never win another game. That's just it. But I truly think that people, I get trying to be positive. I get that and I respect that. But I think people need to be prepared that what you're seeing, that's what you got. And, I mean, you had 8 months to prepare for this. You had the Florida State quarterback. You got Gus there now, and that's all you could do was that on your opener. That's very concerning to me because you got LSU, you got Georgia. I just have a feeling we're in for a tough season. Like I said, it ain't going to change my commitment to Alabama whatsoever, and I hope the fan base stays up and supports these guys. But I think we're in trouble, Kyle. You got, and I call him big for nothing, Proctor out there. He shows me absolutely nothing. There's no drive. There's no passion. I don't know if there's something going on in the locker room. I feel like there's a lack of leadership all the way around. I'm going to end it with this. I just feel like we're in for a tough season. I hate to say it, but I feel like we got to own it and just try to stick through it.
Camille, before you go, I have to ask you a question because you said your husband was a Georgia fan, all right? So I have to ask you, does he have, like, selective amnesia? Because the reason I ask this is because all these Georgia fans, they forget all the time. Alabama, what have they won? Like, the last, 10 out of 12 or something like that? So does they – and, even last year, Georgia fans still feel like they won that game. So what is it like? Is it does he feel that way or does he understand kind of, who the team is, at least for now?
Well, I'm going to tell you, he's on his way to Athens right now with the boys. And me and the girls head out tomorrow for Tuscaloosa. And I have to give my husband credit. He's actually not that way. He's actually one of the Georgia fans I can stomach because the rest of them around here, they don't care what you tell them the records are. They still think they're just the greatest thing ever. But I know my husband, he's actually not like that at all. He's always had incredible respect for Coach Saban and what he's done. He's very, very, in a way, now I'll tell you like this. I heard one Georgia fan say, "Oh, we want Alabama at their best when we play them." All y'all need to quit lying because every single one of you Bulldogs know if Alabama's at the best, you're going to lose, period. So don't tell me that. You want Alabama to stay the way they are. And he's honest. He was like, it is nice to kind of think that maybe we're going to have a chance to beat them because, he'll tell you the truth. He's like, no, Alabama seems to have our number every year. So I'm fortunate in that. He's a very good Georgia fan to deal with. Or we wouldn't be married 16 years if that was the case.
100%. All right. I appreciate it, Camille. Thanks for the call and great call.
All right. Y'all have a good weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. That was good. All right, 240. Let's do it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Anderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, this is Andy G. I'm calling from Hagerstown, Maryland.
Hey, what's up, Andy? I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in from Maryland. Welcome to the show, man.
I like the show. Yeah, man. I like your show. I'm a new subscriber a couple days ago. But if we don't change that defensive scheme, brother, we ain't going to have no changes. It's not going to happen. Do they run that defensive scheme in the NFL?
I don't think so.
That answer is no. And there's a reason for that. Now, tell me what you saw, because I'm just an old ball player, but I love your show, right? We got no gap contain. We got no pass rush, right? We got secondary players trying to take on blocks of the big men, right? It's a poor defensive scheme, and if King Womack don't change it, nothing's going to change. There's a reason Washington had to score 30 points a game to win, Kyle.
I feel that with and I think sometimes we haven't been in this situation a lot, but usually Alabama always makes and I kind of go back to when Bama Hater called in a couple, I think it was last week or whatever, or maybe it was this week. I don't know. This is all kind of blending. But he was saying that Alabama fans always look for like a scapegoat. And usually it's like on the defensive coordinator, right? It was Pete Golding for a long time. But this one I feel certain is like on Kane Womack because we're seeing the same thing again for the 5th loss in 2 seasons, right? It seems like the same issue is stopping the run, and that has to be with restructuring the defense, because surely it's not about having the correct players. I mean, we look at, I know Tim Keene was out this weekend, you'll be without Jeremiah Beaman, but you still got guys. And I go back to the story. I talked to somebody who was on Coach Saban's staff, and he's like, it's not the players, it's the scheme that he was worried about. This is before the season. That's what he told me. He's no longer on the staff, but that's what he told me. So that's kind of why I look to that as being a common denominator. What else you got, Andy?
Well, it is a common denominator. And I was watching the SEC Read and React with Roman Harper.
Yeah, yep.
And Deontay was dogging it, brother. He wasn't taking on blocks. They showed the highlights of him. Cole Kublik did, just going in there, just kind of throwing a little shoulder in. He was dogging it. He really was.
Yeah.
You know? And you can't have that in that 4-2, 4-2-5? You can't have that. And we got no pass rush in our front four. I seen that last year. They were all tired by the fourth quarter. We got no rush at all, you know. And I got a couple notes here I'm going over for you, brother. Ryan Williams, as great as he is, right? He's too small to play the slot. He's too small. He's going to get killed. You just seen that in Florida State game. He can't go over the middle. He's just going to get nailed, you know? And everybody was talking about why we quit running the ball, all right? So let's think about, because everybody was high on Ryan Grubb when he come in. Why did the Seahawks get rid of Ryan Grubb? They were 28th in the NFL in rushing. And that's why he's gone.
Yeah.
You have got to run the ball in the NFL. And he come here and he's doing the same thing, you know? It's just too many problems with the offensive scheme and defensive scheme. And I got to tell you, I mean, Hal Simpson's probably a great kid, coach's son, but I'll tell you the truth, he looks scared. I don't know if you agree with that, but, you know, I just retired. I'm an old counselor. I sent 6 kids from Western Maryland to Alabama, right? And probably my favorite one got the intern under Jeff Allen, 30 Sabre years, and while she was down there, she got 2 national championships. So she was down there as an athletic trainer intern with Najee Harris and Brian Robinson, right?
Yeah.
So you know the standard, and she's furious. I mean, she even went on game day for me to pay me back for helping her, you know, which was pretty cool. But, man, I can't even text Ivy right now because she just, I mean, her face just, I'm getting them, you know, them big red faces you get, the little meme, you know? So, I mean, but you got a great show. I mean, and I appreciate it. I try to listen every day, but I am a new subscriber, so I hope you're doing well and I hope your show's growing.
Thank you so much, Andy. I appreciate it. Thank you for calling out from Maryland. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right, brother. I'll be listening.
All right, man. Take it easy. You know, I love D.C. I love Virginia. I used to live there. You know, I don't know if it's in, you know, God's plans for me to live back in that area again, but I was younger when I did, mid-20s, and I loved it. I love living in D.C. I loved it. I love living in Virginia and taking the subway and dressing up every day, stopping. And I was at Braddock Station, so I stop at Pentagon, Crystal City, go over the bridge, over the Potomac, Federal Triangle. I think I transferred at LaFont Plaza, and then I go to Federal Triangle, something like that. All right, we got another caller. We have 803. Hey, welcome to the show. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. Darrell Dillard. I'm Opelika, Alabama, right here next to War Eagle, folks.
All right, man. I'm sorry. What's your name? What was your name?
Darrell Dillard.
All right, Darrell. What's up, man? I appreciate you calling from Opelika. Go ahead.
Hey, man, I just want to kind of take a few points from different people. So I watch you. I watch Josh Pate, College Football Nerds, all that.
Yeah.
And a few interesting points that I hear, like, the College Football Nerds make. They were talking the other day about, you know, Kalen DeBoer and penalties of his team. And I think they went back the past 3 or 4 years. That includes his last 2 years at Washington and last year at Alabama. And they pretty much said he's ranking, in the 100s as far as, most team penalized. So as far as a lot of this discipline stuff that people are talking about, that's just part of who it's going to be, if we keep him these next few years or whenever. And even just kind of watching some of the practices, I would see, like, if someone messes up a drill or something, hey, no, come on, we got to do it like this, versus Saban, hell no, get back here, do it again. Mm-hmm. And so just little things like that, the discipline stuff is not going to quite be there like Saban, and the sooner we as Bama fans realize that, I think the better off we'll be. In the Kane Womack, the 4.25, I'm kind of tired of people, really just crucifying that defense, because last year I went back, I watched every game, looked at the stats, top 10 defense last year, and I think the way the defense is fully supposed to work, I don't think he fully has, the players there that are supposed to be, kind of moving speed laterally, because you go back and look at him at South Alabama, he has, smaller guys, but they're fast. So they can get out there laterally for these, veer offenses and stuff like that. And I also think it's almost meant to be a kind of, my team has a 14-point lead, so eventually the other offense is going to have to start passing the ball more. I have free roaming safeties, a little bit faster guys on the edge to kind of get after the passer. So I'm thinking that's kind of really how the 4.25 is fully supposed to work. And my last point, and I'll get on out of here, man, I just drove over to Georgia to get me one of these lotto tickets. If I hit big tonight, I'm going to make sure Bama Football on YouTube has a new studio set up. But
that's what's up.
My last point is I thought about this last year, and, Malachi Moore, he was dead wrong for kicking that ball. But you can almost see on kind of a few plays and everything, people looking to him, he was the heart of that defense. All that, the antics and the just passion that he played with. So losing that, I don't see anybody else on that defense that plays with that kind of passion for the University of Alabama. So I was thinking about that all year, and then game finally started last Saturday, and I was like, yes, that was it. Everyone's talking about, Bama's returning all these players, but look who we lost. We only lost, two, the true stars on that defense, Malachi Moore and middle linebacker.
Jahad Campbell. Jahad Campbell.
Jahad Campbell played like he didn't care about a concussion or anything else. So that was the physicality of the defense. Malachi Moore was the heart of the defense. We lost both of them.
Yeah.
And you can fully see it on display when our defense gets out there. Offense, same thing. You want to talk about physicality? Who was out there like they wanted to rip the defensive line's head off every play?
Tyler Booker.
On the offensive line. We lost him. Last night I was watching him. He's out there doing the same thing for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it was nice to see, yeah.
Yeah, and Ty, that he will become the heart. I saw it, throwing his body on the line for those third downs. If just one more person could have possibly came to the game to play with him and Jeremy Bernard, I think the game would have been closer. I don't know if we would have, won it, but the game would have been a lot closer. So give Ty some time, man. He's been there. He's fully blooded University of Alabama, so he has the heart. The physicality, if someone can just, step up and grab, these offensive linemen when they got their heads down or they're starting to take plays off. Because you go back and watch, that was Tyler Booker last night. Offensive line not responding right. He's yelling, pushing guys, get your head in the game, and they respected him. The whole team talks about him all the time. We had our captain or our leader, Booker, here. And then I think I even heard that Kalen DeBoer, had him on speakerphone for a practice talking to the guys. And I'm not sure you need to be doing that because, he's not there every Saturday. So somebody else needs to step up. We don't have him anymore. And even with, Nick Saban, I hear he just came in and talked to the team a couple of times. They're not there, man. Somebody in this locker room has to step up and take control of the team. So I don't, I hear everyone, everything's not bad. If we could just get those two things, physicality back and someone playing with heart and bringing the rest of the team along to play with heart, I don't think it's all bad. But I will say this, if we don't get those two things, I hear people saying, I see 4 or 5 losses on Alabama's schedule. If we play like that, I think it could be quite a few more. But thank you for taking my call, Kyle, man. I appreciate you. Been watching your show for years, man. You keep it up.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in. All right. And hopefully you win the lotto. 205, let's do it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
All right. I missed your name. What was your name?
Cam TV. This is Cam TV, Kyle.
What's up, Cam TV? I appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah, I'm the one that refers you to go to Catfish Heaven because I eat there often. I love their wings.
So I have to ask you because when I went there, all right, we're on with Cam TV. When I went there, I got the wings, all right, and people were mad because I didn't get the catfish. I'll tell you what, I'll go over there today and I'll get the catfish. Is the catfish? But the wings were damn good. I'm serious. How could I not? Right? Am I wrong? The wings are amazing.
No, Kyle, you're not wrong. The catfish is good too. They're both good.
Yes. All right. Well, I'll go back and I'll get the catfish today. And, I swear.
I was on Coach Smith. Yeah. Go get it and let me know how it was, brother.
Okay.
Brother, I've been eating there for years. But to get onto the subject, I was in Coach Smook's. Coach Smook, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he referred to me. It kind of seemed like he told me I'm not a real Bama fan, and I've been rooting for Bama since I was a little kid. I remember when 76 got here. In my opinion, brother, I don't think that Kalen DeBoer had that anger, grit. He don't have that toughness in him that Saban had. Now, I know he's not going to be Nick Saban, but I think that's the main problem of Alabama right now. It's just like, where's the toughness? Like, we don't have that no more. I've been sitting here. I've been talking to family members, older relatives of mine, and they've been saying the same thing. He don't have that in him. He's not built for this. Do you agree or disagree with that, Kyle?
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think that's kind of like the biggest. I think that's one of the biggest issues that we continue to have is like going from somebody who is so animately passionate, right, to somebody, he's got to have passion inside. He just might not show it right on the outside. I'll tell you what, if I was like on his PR team, I'd be like this. I'd be like, hey, listen, I know this isn't in you, but look, if we I'll tell you how to fix things right now, okay, with Coach Kalen DeBoer. I promise you. It's not complicated. If they beat Louisiana Monroe 45-0, just stay with me, okay? They're up 45-0, and they're just rolling. It's 52-0. I don't know what it is. In the fourth quarter, all right, with like 6 minutes left, you have somebody, Form B or somebody, you have them go out there, all right, and you have them have a false start. Coach Kalen DeBoer grabs his headset with it 52-0 and smashes it into the ground and like demands perfection. After it's like 52-0, people would seriously, his approval rating would go through the roof. I'm serious. Like that's all he'd have to do to like fix it. All right. Now, is that him? I don't know. But you could just be like, look, and he could come to the press conference and he'd be like this, listen, I'm pissed off for greatness. I am. I am. And I cracked and I threw the headset down because I want to win more than anybody else in the entire world. And when I moved from Washington over here, like I wanted to continue greatness and you guys deserve that. And if a headset has to pay the price, then a headset has to pay the price.
Oh my God. Kyle, listen, brother. Listen, I've been rooting for Bama. I know I'm a lot younger than you. I'm only 26 years old, but I'm rooting for Bama, man. And I hate to see us lose. I think another reason too is because we've been so spoiled over the years, man, and we're just not used to losing. But I don't like losing. I'm competitive.
Yeah.
I hate the notion that I have to, because I've been bragging on Bama before, the Florida State game, and they were like, people have been coming at me like, and there's nothing I can say because I've been bragging on Bama so much, and they and they came out there looking like this. Like, so it's nothing I can say right now, man. I'm just, I expect us to win this game Saturday. And by the way, I don't know if you will be out there. I will be out there, Kyle. But I expect us to win this game Saturday. But I'm worried about every game now. At this point, I'm really worried.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get our ass kicked, man, by LSU and the South Carolinas. Man, I'm worried. I'm very worried. But brother, I didn't mean to take up too much of your time. That's
You're good,
all
bro.
I want to say.
All right.
I'm still Bama. I'm still Roll Tide. I will be rooting for this team, but that's all I wanted to say, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy, bro. I appreciate it. Thanks, Cam TV. Take it easy, man. All right, and I am going to Catfish Heaven, and I'm going to try the catfish, all right, because I know inside the comment box, after I put that video out, which I like the video, it was kind of like a walk and talk. Maybe I'll do one of those today. Maybe I'll go to Catfish Heaven today. I do have time to go. So, and then I'll let you guys know inside the comment, but probably like in our community tab. So you're like, what the hell is the community tab? I'll show you where it's at. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I'll post this inside the community tab of my plans for tomorrow. Like I said, I do not go, like Saturday is like a really busy working day for me. So if you go on the YouTube channel, right, and this is the homepage, right? I think we're almost up to 115,000 subscribers, which is crazy. You probably can't see that. Here we go. All right. So you see home, video, shorts, lives, podcasts, playlists. If you click post right here, you click post, and then it'll drop down. I post like messages in here, right? Like post your score prediction. It's kind of like a loose message board. I'll post my plans for tomorrow in here. So I'll tell you where I'm going to be and what time. So home, video, shorts, lives, and I'll figure out like what exactly my plans are. So if you guys want to, come up and say what's up, take a picture, whatever, I'll do that. I can't spend a lot of time there because I do work all Saturday and into Sunday. My schedule is a lot different than anybody else's that I've ever met, specifically doing this. But I appreciate you guys for joining, whether you called in from, look at the list of people. And this is just like halfway through, right? I could go on and on, but we had calls from Charlotte, Atlanta, Maryland, Opelika. We had calls from right here in beautiful Tuscaloosa. We had calls from Tampa, St. Pete's, Muscle Shoals, Mississippi, Birmingham, Tony, Alabama, which is close to Huntsville, Maine, Florida, Atlanta, Alaska, Mobile, Goodwater, Georgia, Hoover, and there was many more. I just started keeping track like halfway through. So I know you guys like the call-in show. One thing is, too, don't think if like you have an opposing opinion other than mine, that you can't let it go. Like, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. I'll always treat you with respect, right? I might rebuttal you, but I'll give you a platform. And I would never, like, if we ever met in, like, real life, like, I would never have beef with you. I promise you, you probably like to kick it with me. And my number one thing is to show people respect. I want to tell you things how I see them. And I'm open to all feedback about the show. So thank you so much for calling in. I know there's a lot of different YouTube channels. Please support them all. It doesn't make me mad if you like watch another Alabama YouTube channel. No, it's all good. We support them all, big or small. There's a lot of great content creators. So I appreciate you guys being here. I know it's been a little bit bumpy. Tomorrow I think will be a different story for the Alabama Crimson Tide. I have the Tide winning. I think I said 45-0, something like that. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you very much to Sleeper for supporting us in terms of a sponsorship. Thank you to all the super chats that I received today. I really, really appreciate it. If you want to get into the raffle, if $5 to get into this raffle for this Block A hat, Bama_YouTube, Cash App Bama YouTube. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your Friday. Stay where your feet are at. Stay blessed. Call your parents. Call your family. Enjoy this beautiful thing we got called life. I appreciate you more than anything. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this Friday, September 5th. Kyle Anderson and Bama Football on YouTube. See you, fam. Did you guys have fun? I had a good time today. All right. I probably go to Catfish Heaven, all right, and get the catfish, all right? All right, fam. Let's see. Wait, hold on. What does Burns has to say? Kyle, that's why you got bad mojo, Kyle. You can't go to Catfish Heaven and order some chicken wings. Yeah, I got to go reset. It, right? I'll do that. Thanks, and I appreciate the love and support. Taurus, what's up, man? Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Debbie, what's up? I appreciate it. Amanda, Rocketown, Ethan, thank you so much. All right, roll down Tide, fam, and I'll see you soon. Tomorrow's game day.